Ding. The system is now active. Host detected in critical condition. Initiating automatic repair sequence. Injury status. Under repair. Repair complete. A cold, electronic voice echoed in Yang Jie's mind as he slowly opened his eyes. Yang Jie is a placeholder name for the protagonist, which will be changed soon. Where am I? Wasn't I just writing a novel? He glanced around and found himself lying in a shabby, run-down cabin. The furniture was scattered in disarray, and various items lay broken and tossed about. Outside, cries for mercy, screams, and sobs mixed with bursts of cruel laughter. Suddenly, a sharp pain shot through Yang Jie's mind as a flood of memories overwhelmed him, flashing past like scenes from a movie. Processing this, Yang Jie understood his predicament. He had traveled through time, his soul transported here. This world was the universe of One Piece, a world frequently visited by travelers from different realms. It was January 1516 of the Haiyuan calendar, just after the new year. In his former life, Yang Jie was a full-time writer, penning a few One Piece fan novels. Although his books didn't gain much attention, he often fantasized about what he'd do if he could enter the One Piece world. Now, faced with reality, he steadied himself, realizing that fantasy and real life are vastly different. In his stories, his protagonist possessed incredible strength, battling generals and emperors and ruling the world single-handedly. But real life wasn't so kind. The unfortunate person he'd become was named Lucifer, a resident of a small town in the Grand Line. That day, the town had been raided by pirates. The original Lucifer had been hacked to death by a pirate who stormed into his home without a word, giving Yang Jie's spirit an opportunity to take over. Just my luck. I stay up all night writing, and I somehow die and end up in this mess. Who would even believe this? His time travel explanation was simple. He'd been pushing himself too hard, staying up late just to keep his income up due to poor book sales. It had finally caught up with him. Ah! A scream suddenly rang in Lucifer's ears, snapping him back to the present. He quickly moved to the corner, hiding in silence. He'd just arrived here and was far from safe. Pirates were pillaging the town, and if one of them found him, he'd be in serious trouble. System, are you there? Lucifer called out urgently in his mind. Ding! The demon system has successfully bound. The cold voice responded, lifting Lucifer's spirits. He asked quickly, System, what functions do you have? Is there a beginner's gift package? His only hope now was to gain power quickly through the system's beginner package, giving him a fighting chance to survive. Ding! Distributing the newbie gift package. Distribution complete. Congratulations, host. You have obtained a word spirit fruit, with flaws removed, and a hell demon physique. With that, a devil fruit appeared in Lucifer's hand. It was pitch black, covered in strange markings, and emanated a dark energy. Word spirit fruit? Without hesitation, Lucifer bit into the fruit. He knew time was critical. Hesitation could cost him dearly. If it came from the system, it had to be high quality. The sweet juice burst in his mouth as he ate. The fruit, free from the usual devil fruit weaknesses, not only lacked a foul taste but was actually delicious. After finishing, Lucifer felt a surge of energy coursing through him, transforming his body. It was the power of a demon from hell. He felt an intense itching and tingling as his body strengthened from within. This energy faded quickly, but Lucifer noticed that his physical strength had vastly increased, as if he could punch through steel. His speed, senses, and vitality had also been boosted, thanks to the powerful devil's constitution. He now had only one vital weakness, his heart. Even if the rest of his body suffered severe damage or even decapitation, he would survive as long as he could activate the word spirit fruit's powers. HM? What's this? Lucifer realized he had gained a new ability that felt as natural as breathing. This was the power of the word spirit fruit. He concentrated, astonished by the strength of this new skill. It was truly remarkable. With the word spirit fruit, Lucifer could make anything he said become reality, even summoning or generating matter with a simple word. Excited, Lucifer began testing his abilities. Long sword. Instantly, a gleaming sword appeared in his hand. Pistol. A Desert Eagle pistol materialized in his grip, looking exactly like the one from his previous life. Flame, lightning, ice. Each element appeared in his hands, displaying immense power. In the One Piece world, these powers required individual devil fruits to obtain, yet Lucifer could wield them all with just a word. At that moment, Lucifer felt like a god, able to bring anything into existence with a mere command. Strong, too strong, simply invincible. The words follow the law, and all things follow the heart. The power of the fruit of the word spirit is only 1/10,000th, and it is already extremely terrifying. Oh, there is actually another fish that slipped through the net here? Ha ha ha, kid, you hid very well, but unfortunately you met me. You are unlucky. At this time, a pirate with a machete broke in. He was disheveled and over 2 meters tall. The machete in his hand was still dripping with blood, and he had a cruel smile on his face. Go to hell, kid. The pirate held a machete and slashed at Lucifer with a ferocious expression, as if his desire to kill had been satisfied. Poof! A ball of blood shot out, and the pirate's tall body fell into a pool of blood. On his chest, he held a long sword and penetrated his heart. The pirate's eyes were not closed yet, and his eyes were full of doubts. He didn't know how he died. He was obviously the one who did it, so why was he the one who died? I never thought that a weak chicken would suddenly turn into a tiger. The unlucky one is not me, but you. Lucifer had no expression on his face and stepped over the pirate's body. The clothes on his body changed automatically, from the original rags and linen clothes to a dark black coat. The word spirit fruit can create things from the void and can make guns and swords. Lucifer couldn't even make a piece of clothing with just one thought. Maybe it was the devil's physique that changed Lucifer's mentality. After killing people, he didn't feel any discomfort at all, but felt very excited. His blood was boiling, craving for more killing. Is this the devil from hell? The demons living in hell are cruel and murderous, and regard human life as an ant. Lucifer is such a hell demon now. However, Lucifer does not hate this feeling. On the contrary, he likes it very much. The world of One Piece is very cruel. The weak prey on the strong. Countless people die every moment. Without strength, even breathing is a sin. If Lucifer wants to live, he must not only have strong strength, but also have a rock-solid mentality. It's very suitable to become a hell demon. The killing begins. Lucifer showed a bloodthirsty sneer and walked out of the cabin alone. As far as he could see, the town had been reduced to a purgatory. Cries and screams echoed all around, and the pirates were chasing each other with a ferocious smile. Residents robbed property. Flames were burning all over the town, and thick smoke rose into the sky. Killing and death were vividly performed at this moment. Boy, do you still dare to look around? Aren't you afraid of death? Is this kid going to be scared out of his wits? Ha 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 ha, kill him. 3 pirates came from a distance, each with a sinister smile on their face, and their bodies were stained red with blood. On the ground behind them, there were several corpses lying in a mess. Lucifer looked at the 3 of them, his face expressionless. With an expression on his face, he whispered, "Flying sword." As soon as he finished speaking, 3 flying swords shot out of the void, instantly piercing the chests of the 3 pirates. These pirates are just a bunch of trash fish, with no merit at all except that they are stronger. Even the simplest and most straightforward attack method, they cannot escape. Boy, what are you doing? How dare you kill our members of the Viper Pirates? Kill him! Kill him! Lucifer's killing scene was seen by the surrounding pirates, and a group of pirates attacked Lucifer at the same time. Bang! 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 Several pirates shot at the same time, and dozens of bullets were shot at Lucifer's body at the same time. Crucial. Go back. Lucifer gave an order, and all the bullets that were fired returned to the original path, and the speed was faster. Whoosh! 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 Balls of blood spattered, and more than a dozen pirates were shot to death and fell in a pool of blood. What kind of power is this? Hey, what's wrong with you? Stand up quickly. What did he do? The remaining pirates who were alive were frightened. and their voices were trembling when they spoke. They looked at Lucifer and no longer dared to come forward. In their eyes, Lucifer did nothing at all, but the bullets they fired returned to beat their companions. Dead. Such power is simply not something they can contend with. It's a devil fruit. He's a devil fruit user. A pirate yelled tremblingly. This is the first half of the Grand Line. The existence of devil fruit is common knowledge, and pirates like them naturally know it. The power displayed by Lucifer is undoubtedly the power of devil fruit. Go to hell, you bunch of scum. Flying sword. Lucifer ordered coldly, and the void above his head opened, shooting out dozens of flying swords. The flying swords were extremely fast and instantly penetrated a dozen pirates in front of them. 5 or 6 flying swords were inserted into the bodies of a few unlucky guys. He was directly chopped into pieces. Then, Lucifer began to chase the pirates in the town. Flying swords fell, and the pirates died one by one. No one could block his move, and they were all killed instantly. Lucifer, like a ruthless reaper, harvesting the prey in the town. Escape. Run away. This guy is a monster, and we are no match. Go find the captain. Captain Snake will definitely kill him. Yes, go find the captain. Captain Snake is also a person with abilities. He is the strongest. A group of pirates fled in a hurry towards the outskirts of the town. This time they robbed the town, and these pirates were the main force. As for the strongest pirate captain, they only had to wait outside for the soldiers to snatch the money back. That's it. Flying sword. Lucifer chased him outside the town. More than a dozen flying swords fell, and more than a dozen pirates died. Boom. Suddenly, a figure fell from the sky and jumped in front of Lucifer. He waved a 3-meter-long wolf fang stick, knock away several flying swords of Lucifer. Damn you, kid. How dare you kill so many of my subordinates? Go to hell for me. The man is more than 3 meters tall, with muscles all over his body and scars all over his upper body. He is very fierce. From the way he speaks, it is obvious that he is Snake, the captain of the Viper Pirates. Flying sword. Lucifer waved his finger, and a giant flying sword shot out of the air, hitting Snake's mace and knocking it away more than 10 meters. Snake turned into a cannonball and smashed a wall into pieces. The mace in his hand was also knocked away. If he hadn't used the mace as a shield, he would have been pierced by the giant sword. It actually blocked it. Lucifer was a little surprised. After all, this was the first pirate who could block his move. Although Lucifer didn't even use 1/1000th of his strength, this pirate was already considered strong. Bang! Snake climbed out of the rubble, his arms bent and hanging weakly, obviously broken. Damn you, kid. I can't forgive you. Snake let out a roar. His eyes were like poisonous snakes, and his body began to change. His neck lengthened, his body became taller and softer, and 2 fangs grew in his mouth. In the blink of an eye, Snake turned into a snake. People, shall I go, Orochimaru? Lucifer glanced at it and thought he saw Orochimaru. Snake is an animal-type snake fruit user. At this moment, he activated his ability and turned into a snake man. He was more than 20 meters long and had 2 pills in his mouth. Venom dripped from the fangs, dripping onto the ground and corroding it. Appeared, the captain used his ability. Snake fruit black snake form. No one can stop the captain in this state. That boy is dead. Kill him, Captain Snake. You're the best, Captain Snake. A group of pirate soldiers around them started shouting when they saw Snake using his abilities. Go to hell. Snake straightened up his huge snake body, opened his bloody mouth, and bit Lucifer. Those 2 sharp fangs are Snake's biggest weapons. The snake fruit is highly poisonous, and Snake relies on this ability. He just entered the Grand Route from the North Sea. Looking at the huge snake body, Lucifer did not dodge, but just raised his hand slightly. Blade Storm. As soon as he finished speaking, the space behind Lucifer split open, and countless flying swords and long knives shot out. Each flying sword and long knife was extremely sharp and shone with cold light. Puff, 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 puff. Balls of blood splattered. Bloom. Snake huge snake it collapsed suddenly and blood flowed all over the ground. There were dozens of long swords stuck in the giant snake's mouth, and its huge body was pierced by the long swords, turning it into a hedgehog snake. In front of Lucifer, Snake's increased size makes him a living target, and he can only be beaten in vain. He also opened his big mouth and put his biggest weakness in front of Lucifer. He was simply looking for death. Ding! The host kills Snake and gets 3,500 killing points. The system's electronic sound suddenly sounded in Lucifer's mind. Killing point? What's this? Lucifer asked doubtfully. After the host kills a powerful target character, it can obtain killing points. Use killing points to purchase related items or abilities in the system mall. So that's it. Lucifer understood and then asked, then those people I killed before, why didn't they have killing points? The person the host killed before was too weak to be considered a target. Lucifer understood. The so-called target person must have a certain strength. Those with too low strength are not qualified to be selected by the system. Those who died in Lucifer's hands before were all soldiers of the Black Snake pirates. Of course, there was no killing point, and Black Snake is the captain and has certain strength, so he has the killing point. This makes me hunt the strong ones. The characteristics of the system are very obvious, which is to let Lucifer hunt stronger targets. Only in this way can he get a large number of killing points and go to the system mall to purchase items or abilities. Back to reality, the pirates watching the battle saw their captain acting like this, being killed so easily. Their legs were so frightened that they were weak. They shouted Snake's name, hoping that he would stand up. Captain! Captain Snake! Captain, get up quickly. You are the man who wants to become the pirate king. Get up and deal with this brat. Impossible. How could the captain lose? It's a pity that Snake is already dead. It's useless to let them shout until their throats are broken. The captain who loves you so much should die together. Lucifer waved his hand, and the sharp blade storm in the sky above his head fell again. Puff, 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 puff. Balls of blood splattered, and in the blink of an eye, another 20 or 30 pirates were dead without any body parts. Ah! Spare your life. Please spare my life. I am willing to be your subordinate. The remaining pirates shouted while running away, and some even knelt down and begged for mercy. But Lucifer showed no mercy and chose to kill them all. When this group of pirates robbed the town before, the residents also begged them like this, but they showed no mercy, but instead killed more vigorously. The louder the residents begged for mercy and the louder their cries, the more excited they became. For such scum, even if they could not get a killing point by killing them, Lucifer would not keep your hand. Killing them all and leaving no one behind is the best way. Blade storm. Lucifer's cold voice sounded like a devil from hell, exploding in the ears of many pirates. As the blade storm swept across, countless pirates died tragically under the sword. In the end, the Black Snake Pirates group of 400 many people died in the hands of Lucifer. The streets inside and outside the town were filled with the corpses of pirates, with swords stuck in their corpses. They died in terrible conditions. The residents of the town escaped, and they looked at the ruins. To Lucifer, there was fear in his eyes. Although Lucifer killed all the pirates and saved them all, they did not dare to come forward and thank Lucifer. It is natural for the weak to fear the strong. Not to mention Lucifer, the killing methods were too cruel. Many residents looked at Lucifer with only fear in their eyes, not gratitude. It looks like we can't stay on this island any longer. Lucifer knew this when he saw the fear of the town residents towards him. He walked out of the town and came to the coast. There was a pirate ship docked here with the flag of the Black Snake Pirates hanging on it. Climb on board the Black Snake pirate ship. Lucifer found some treasure in the cabin, which was the private collection of Black Snake. The amount of money was not much, less than 20 million belly. In fact, this is normal. Pirates, the money gained from burning, killing, and looting would be squandered by them very quickly. The reason why the Black Snake Pirates came to this town to rob was probably because they were short of money. Lucifer didn't care much about the amount of money. After he got the word spirit fruit, he no longer lacked money. Gold is generated. After Lucifer finished speaking, a piece of gold appeared out of thin air and fell into his palm. Just like the gold extracted from the gold mine, The gold created by Lucifer using his fruit power is also real. No one can tell the difference. Unless Lucifer can remove his ability, otherwise this piece of gold will always exist. If Lucifer is willing, he can now make unlimited gold or diamonds. As long as he wants, it won't be long before Lucifer can become the richest man in the world. Even if he is awakened Tesoro, the Golden Emperor with the golden fruit, will soon be surpassed by Lucifer in terms of financial strength alone. Money is just a symbol. Lucifer smiled faintly and drove the pirate ship away from the coast. From this moment on, Lucifer officially went to sea. After gaining power, Lucifer originally wanted to go to sea, and the attitude of the town residents towards him was only secondary. More importantly, the reason is that Lucifer wants to get more killing points. If he wants to become stronger, he must go to sea. Only by going to sea can he find those powerful opponents. System, open the properties panel. Lucifer whispered softly, and a virtual screen appeared in front of him. Only he could see this screen. Host, Lucifer. Age, 23. Devil fruit. Word spirit fruit. Physique, hell demon. Killing point, 3500. Lucifer's attribute panel is still it's very simple, and it's clear in a few words. Among the Black Snake pirates, Black Snake is the only one with some strength, and the other members are all just soldiers. So Lucifer only got 3,500 killing points after killing all the members of the pirate group. With a bounty of 35 million Baileys and only 3,500 killing points, a snake is too cheap. Lucifer shook his head and threw a bounty order into the sea. It was a photo of Snake the Black Snake. The bounty was 35 million Baileys. In the Grand Line, the bounty of 35 million Baileys was very low. Yes, there are many pirates like Black Snake. The bounty also proves that this guy really has no talent and is too weak. After all, he is also an animal-type fruit ability user, and the bounty is only 35 million. His performance is too bad. Besides him, there is no other bounty criminal in the entire pirate group. Not only is he weak, but his subordinates are even weaker. Such a guy also wants to be the pirate king. It can only be said that a poisonous snake dreams of swallowing an elephant. If you are too ambitious, you will be exhausted sooner or later. Open the system store. Lucifer gave the order, and the screen turned into a system store. The store is filled with countless items and abilities. For example, there are various physical objects, including various weapons, famous swords, guns, ships, and even devil fruits. There are also abilities, such as three-color hockey, physical skills, and swordsmanship. Lucifer focused on the three-color hockey. He has the word spirit fruit, and his abilities are heaven-defying. Coupled with the hell demon physique, his body is also extremely powerful. The only thing lacking is, yes, only domineering. Seeing and hearing domineering. Awakening, 1,000 killing points. Elementary, 5,000 killing points. Intermediate, 10,000 killing points. Advanced, 50,000 killing points. Peak, 200,000 killing points. Arm domineering. Awakening, 1,000 killing points. Primary, 5,000 killing points. Intermediate, 10,000 killing points. Advanced, 50,000 killing points. Peak, 200,000 killing points. Overlord color domineering. Awakening, 1,000 killing points. Primary level, 5,000 killing points. Intermediate level, 10,000 killing points. Advanced level, 50,000 killing points. And peak level, 200,000 killing points. The three colors of hockey awakening only cost 1,000 killing points, which is very cheap. But as you upgrade, the higher the level, the more expensive the price. If you want to upgrade them all to the peak level, the price exceeds 600,000 killing points. A bounty of 35 million Bailey Black Snake is only worth 3,500 killing points. The ratio of bounty to killing points is about 10,000:1. In other words, if you kill a criminal with a bounty of 100 million, you can get 10,000 killing points. If you want to get 600,000 killing points, you must kill a criminal with a bounty of 6 billion. In the current ocean, Whitebeard's bounty is the highest, but it's far from 6 billion. Lucifer still has a long way to go if he wants to obtain such a large number of killing points. There is a long way to go. On the bow of the pirate ship, Lucifer let out a sigh. System, Purchase the Armed Color Hockey in the Awakening stage. Ding! The Armed Color Domineering purchase was successful. 1,000 killing points were deducted, and the remaining killing points were 2,500. The electronic sound ended, and a force poured into Lucifer's body and eventually dispersed into his limbs and bones. This force came and went quickly. Lucifer could only sense it for a moment, and after it disappeared, he could no longer notice it. That's all? Don't you feel like there's any change? Lucifer tried to activate the power in his body, but his body didn't respond at all, as if the killing points were in vain. Lucifer could not freely control the armed hockey in the awakening stage, and it would only appear once or twice unconsciously. But from the attribute panel, we can know that Lucifer has indeed awakened armed hockey. Attribute panel. Host, Lucifer. Age, 23. Devil fruit. Word spirit fruit. Physique, hell demon. Armed hockey. Awakening. Killing points, 2,500. Killing points 2,500 left, but Lucifer did not buy any more hockey of knowledge or hockey of overlord. At the moment, the most useful thing to Lucifer is armed hockey. This is a necessary power to deal with those with natural abilities, and it is also a power that Lucifer must master. Otherwise, no matter how incredible the word spirit fruit is, it may not be useful to some people with natural abilities. It seems that my next stage is to hunt down those powerful targets. Lucifer has not thought about what he wants to do in the future in the long term. He has never thought about being a navy, nor a pirate. He just wants to hunt some powerful targets and get more killing points. At present, the change getting stronger is his only goal. As for the future, let's talk about it in the future. A few days later, the vast sea was calm and calm. The sun shines on the sea, lighting up the sparkling reflections. Several small fish jumped out of the water and splashed with water. A somewhat broken ship with bloodstains crushed the waves and sailed on this sea area. The hull is 50 or 60 meters long, and there is a flag fluttering in the wind on the thick mast. On the flag is a skull bleeding with blood, a bloody sword piercing the skull, and 2 crows flying on the left and right sides. This is the flag of the Blood Sword Pirates. The owner represented by this flag is named Catlon, nicknamed Bloodsword. He is a pirate with a bounty of 85 million Baileys. In the first half of the Grand Line, the Bloodsword Catlon was also a character and somewhat famous. On the pirate ship, the members of the Bloodsword Pirates were having a banquet. More than 200 pirates were divided into several piles, surrounding each other, laughing, drinking, and eating meat. Ha 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 ha, Captain. We have done something big this time. Will the captain's bounty be increased again? That's right. The captain's bounty will exceed 100 million if the reward is increased. By then, the captain will be a supernova. There are only a few supernova pirates every year, and the captain must be the fastest to become a supernova this year. It's true. The captain is the strongest, and he will definitely become the pirate king in the future. A group of pirates were fawning over a man sitting in the main seat. He was wearing a blood-colored coat, more than 4 meters tall, and had a hideous scar lying on his face like a centipede. Beside his hand, leaning against a bloody long sword with dried blood still remaining on the blade. He is the Blood Sword Catlon, a man who takes pleasure in killing people. Yeah, ha 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 ha, you were right, kids. I will definitely become the Pirate King. Follow me, and you will all be the crew of One Piece in the future. Catalan took a bottle of wine and drank heavily. He drank it all in one go and laughed arrogantly. At this moment, a pirate's voice sounded. He was an observer on the ship and was responsible for warning the surroundings during the banquet. Sea area conditions. Captain, we found a pirate ship ahead. Nanny, did you see what flag it was? Catalan asked, putting down the bottle of wine. There seems to be a black snake painted on the flag, replied the observing pirate. Black snake? Is it the Black Snake Pirates? A sneer of disdain appeared on the corner of Catalan's mouth. Captain, I've heard about the Black Pirates. They are just a bunch of fish. Captain Snake's bounty seems to be only 35 million, said a pirate bastard. That's right. The Black Pirates are very weak and cannot compare to our Blood Sword Pirates. Captain, do it. This is a fat sheep delivered to your door. Quack, quack, my broadsword is already thirsty. A group of pirates laughed ferociously, and each picked up their weapons and walked to the side of the ship. On the sea, the world of pirates is very cruel, and there is no reason to break out a fight. When two pirate groups meet on the sea, it is often life and death. The members of the Blood Sword Pirates pride themselves on their strength. When they encounter the weak Black Snake Pirates, they naturally want to kill people and seize the treasure. Okay, kids, get ready to fight. Catalan smashed the wine bottle in his hand, picked up the sword next to his hand, and roared angrily. He walked to the bow of the ship, looked at the pirate ship a few nautical miles away, and gave the order, "Wait until the target enters the shooting range. Fire immediately. First let them have a salvo of 10,000 guns to give them a taste of our firepower." "Got it, Captain." Many pirates were in position, launched a dozen cannons, and adjusted their direction to aim at the pirate ship in front. "I really don't know how there are only a dozen cannons. How can they fire 10,000 cannons at once?" At this moment, the man holding a telescope, the pirate, spoke again. "Captain, something is wrong." No one was seen on the boat opposite, only a young pretty boy sitting on the bow. "What did you say?" Catalan grabbed the telescope and looked forward. Sure enough, as his men said, there was no one on the Black Snake pirate ship. There was only a young man sitting on the bow, drinking and enjoying the breeze. Could it be that the members of the Black Snake Pirates are hiding in the cabin, trying to show weakness and deceive me? Then you caught me off guard? Blood Sword Catalan felt that he had noticed the truth, and instantly felt that he was extremely smart. "Humph, you despicable guy. Do you want to use this method to deal with me? Too shitty. I could see it right away." Catalan snorted coldly and immediately ordered, "The opposite ship should fire as soon as it enters range." In his opinion, no matter what conspiracy the other side has, just fire. It is never wrong to seize the upper hand. On the other side, on the bow of the Black Snake Pirates, Lucifer was holding a glass of red wine in his hand, shaking it gently. Let the pirate ship slowly enter the opponent's range. When the opponent discovered Lucifer, Lucifer had already discovered them. The Blood Sword Pirates, Captain Bloodsword Catalan, has a bounty of 85 million Baileys. Vice Captain Modius, Swordsman, bounty of 50 million Belly. Cadre Pratt, Sniper, bounty of 35 million Baileys. Compared with the Black Snake Pirates, the Blood Sword Pirates are indeed much stronger. Lucifer looked through the stack of bounty orders in his hand and found the bounty criminals of the Blood Sword Pirates. There were 3 bounty criminals in this pirate group, and the total bounty was 170 million. They were destroyed. This pirate group definitely gained a lot. At this moment, the other side opened fire. Boom, 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 boom. More than a dozen shells flew towards Lucifer, and in the blink of an eye they had reached Lucifer's head. "Why are you in such a hurry? Go back." Lucifer raised his head and hooked his fingers. All the incoming cannonballs stopped in the air, and then reflected back. The speed was several times faster than when they were fired. A series of artillery bombardments, and a large gap was directly blown out of the bow of the opposite ship. Damn it, this guy is actually a devil fruit user. The Blood Sword Catalan was furious. He jumped into the air and slashed with his sword. A half-moon-shaped slash shot out of the air, tearing the air and flying towards Lucifer. He's actually a swordsman? Lucifer was a little surprised. Being able to use the flying slash proves that Catalan has reached the level of cutting iron and is a swordsman. In the first half of the Grand Line, swordsmen are rare and strong. No wonder the bounty can reach 8,510,000. However, even a swordsman is nothing to Lucifer. Dissipate. The plain voice fell, and the flying slashes disappeared out of thin air, leaving only a wisp of breeze. Lightsaber. Before Catalan could react, Lucifer had already executed his killing move. With a command, a flash of light appeared out of thin air in Lucifer's palm, and the flash condensed into a long sword. Phew! The flashing sword shot out and hit the blood sword instantly. The ship of the pirate group. There was a loud bang, and the flashing sword exploded, forming a huge fireball that engulfed the pirate ship. Before the Blood Sword Catalan could react, his whole person was engulfed by the explosive fireball. His face he was ferocious and twisted, with his mouth wide open, his eyes full of fear, and his whole body turned into ashes. Also dead with Catalan were more than 200 of his pirate subordinates. Under Lucifer's fatal move, the blood sword, all the members of the pirate group were killed at the same moment, and no one was left alive. More powerful than I imagined. Lucifer looked at the huge hollow in the sea in front of him and nodded secretly. It was blown out by the lightsaber. The high temperature at the edge evaporated the seawater and produced a large amount of water vapor. The endless seawater poured in, and the hollow could not be filled in a short time. Lucifer used the word spirit fruit to display his flash power, and the power was comparable to Kazara's shining fruit. With the power of the word spirit fruit, Lucifer could not only use Kazara's ability, but also the power of Akainu and Akiji. It can be used. And with Lucifer's development of the word spirit fruit, the power of his moves can be even higher. Ding! The host kills Katlia and gets 8,500 killing points. Ding! The host kills Modius and gets 5,000 killing points. Ding! The host kills Pratt and gets 3,500 killing points. The electronic sound of the system sounded. Lucifer obtained 17,000 killing points at once, and the total number of killing points came to 19,500. If I can kill dozens more of these pirate groups, I will soon be able to accumulate 600,000 killing points. Lucifer was in a good mood and opened the system store at the same time. System, purchase primary and intermediate armed color domineering. Ding! The armed color domineering purchase was successful. 15,000 killing points were deducted, and the remaining killing points were 4,500. The electronic sound of the system fell, and a force poured into Lucifer's body. This force was very powerful, flowing throughout Lucifer's body, and was eventually absorbed by the body and integrated into one body. In an instant, Lucifer's armed color hockey was directly upgraded to the intermediate level. Is this armed color domineering? Really good. Lucifer raised his hand and clenched his fist, mobilizing that power. He saw that his fist was slowly covered by a layer of black substance, and the whole fist was pitch black, shining with metallic luster. At this moment, Lucifer's fist did not look like flesh and blood, but more like a steel fist. This is armed color hardening. Armed color domineering, like invisible armor, can not only improve defense, but also evolve into attack power. Attack and defense are integrated, and it is the nemesis of those with natural abilities. Intermediate armed color in terms of domineering, Lucifer can only partially cover and harden it, and cannot yet cover and harden the entire body. But at any rate, he has mastered this power and can attack the entities of natural ability users. Attribute panel. Host, Lucifer. Age, 23. Devil fruit. Word spirit fruit. Physique, hell demon. Armed color hockey. Intermediate. Killing points, 4,500. The killing points are still not enough. Lucifer sighed as he looked at the remaining 4,500 killing points. It originally exceeded 5 digits, but after one purchase, it immediately returned to 4 digits. Armed hockey has been upgraded to the intermediate level, and it's time to awaken the other 2 types of hockey. Lucifer gave instructions in his heart. System, purchase the Awakening Stage Wisdom Color Hockey and Overlord Color Hockey. Ding! If the purchase of Observation Color Hockey and Overlord Color Hockey is successful, 2,000 killing points will be deducted, leaving 2,500 killing points. The familiar power appears, and then disappears quickly. Like the previous awakening of armed hockey, Lucifer still cannot use the other 2 hockey freely this time. The power of hockey in the awakening stage will only be triggered unconsciously. It depends. The host's emotions. When emotions are aroused and the mentality explodes, this power will be triggered by body protection. Attribute panel. Host, Lucifer. Age, 23. Devil fruit. Word spirit fruit. Physique, hell demon. Armed color hockey. Intermediate. Knowledge color hockey. Awakening. Overlord color hockey. Awakening. Killing points, 2,500. Okay, now that one pirate group has been destroyed, it's time to find the next target. Shutting down the system, Lucifer took out a stack of bounty orders and threw 3 of them into the sea. At the same time, he searched for the pirates he was interested in on the bounty orders. The pirate ship was uncontrolled and drifted in the wind, and finally disappeared slowly in the sea. On sea level, Falu Island, located in the first half of the Great Line, is an island with 3 no islands. The so-called 3 no island means no country, no navy, and no law. On this island, countless criminals gather. Pirates, gangsters, robbers, human traffickers, bounty hunters. You can find everyone except good people on the island. And islands like this are Lucifer's best hunting grounds. After 10 days of sailing, Lucifer arrived at Falu Island. The pirate ship docked at the port, attracting many eyes. After all, in such a big pirate ship, only one young man got off the ship. It was strange no matter how you looked at it. Of course, most of these looks have bad intentions. Isn't this the ship of the Black Snake Pirates? That's right, it belongs to Black Snake. Why is there only one kid coming down? Where are the people on the boat? Are they all dead? No way. Can this kid kill the Black Snake? Some people looked at the young Lucifer and shook their heads secretly. Lucifer had no weapons, was not tall, and looked very young and handsome. Such a guy looks like a pretty boy no matter how you look at it, and he doesn't look like a strong man at all. It would be interesting if there was only one imp. Some ill-intentioned glances gradually turned into vicious ones. Lucifer walked into the port and saw countless pairs of vicious glances around him. These people had no intention of hiding their malice. Kid, this is not the place for a pretty boy like you. A 3-meter-tall strong man came to Lucifer with a group of fierce-looking people. If you... Gravity crushes. Lucifer ignored the strong man's words and just whispered 4 words. As soon as he finished speaking, the bodies of the strong man and his group exploded, turning into countless flesh and blood flying everywhere. The passers-by standing nearby had no time to dodge and were directly hit. His face was splashed with blood. When he reacted, his legs were so frightened that he collapsed to the ground. The people around him were stunned. When they looked at Lucifer, they no longer dared to show any malice, only fear and fear. Just now Lucifer was not seen taking action at all, but the strong man and his group died without any warning. Such power was not something they could resist. At that moment, the onlookers stayed away from Lucifer. In their eyes, Western France is already an existence that cannot be provoked. Ding. The host kills Yuki Kyle, obtains 500 killing points, and has 3,000 remaining killing points. Of the people who died, only the leading strong man had some strength and was worth 500 kill points, which is almost equivalent to a pirate offering a bounty of 5 million Baileys. As for the others, they were a bunch of worthless fish. It seems that if you want to find a powerful target, you must go deep into the center of the town. Lucifer showed a faint smile and walked towards the center of the town. The onlookers were even more frightened when they saw Lucifer still smiling after killing everyone. Lucifer entered the town, and the streets were lined with various shops and stalls. But those who do business here are not ordinary people. The owners of these shops and stalls are all big men with fierce faces. Some of them are not wearing clothes, showing the scars crisscrossing their bodies. They were always armed with swords and pistols while discussing business. It has become normal to stab someone with a knife or shoot someone if they disagree. Lucifer saw a fruit stall owner shoot a customer in the head because he couldn't agree on the price, and then plundered all the money from him. As for the body, it was casually thrown into the alley next to it. Small alleys like this are the best places to kill people and dump their bodies. Lucifer saw many corpses in it. What kind of fruit can you sell if you have this ability? Wouldn't it be easier to kill people and steal wealth? Lucifer seriously suspected that these stall owners were doing side business, and robbing customers was their main business. Not long after, Lucifer came to a tavern. He opened the door and entered, and it was very noisy inside. A group of big men are drinking and eating meat, but they all have weapons on their bodies and hands. Seeing Lucifer come in, dozens of pairs of eyes in the tavern quickly glanced at Lucifer. Some people put their hands on their weapons without leaving any trace, ready to kill at any time. Falu Island is very dangerous. The island is very cruel. The jungle is strong and the jungle is strong. Anyone who can survive here has 2 skills and is very vigilant. Whether eating or sleeping, weapons are usually never left behind. But Lucifer was very young, and his pretty face was very confusing, so people in the tavern stopped paying attention after a quick glance. Lucifer walked to the bar and found a seat to sit down. The boss immediately came over and asked, "Guest, what do you want to eat?" "A bottle of rum and some barbecue." Lucifer pushed a wad of money in front of the boss. "Guests, please wait a moment. The food and wine will come soon." When the boss saw the money, his face became more beautiful and he showed a smile. But he was too ugly and had many scars on his face. One of the scars cut his lip, so his smile was very ferocious. This boss was not an ordinary person at first glance. The clothes are held up by muscles, bulging, and with the scars on his face, it is very likely that he is a retired pirate. After washing their hands in the Golden Basin, many pirates will live hidden in such a small town. Here there will be no navy to arrest them, and they have some strength to protect themselves. In less than 2 minutes, rum and barbecue were delivered to Lucifer. Lucifer poured a glass of wine, drank it, and cut a piece of barbecue to eat down. The lips and teeth are fragrant. "Boss, your workmanship is pretty good." Lucifer smiled and said. The guest was rewarded. The boss responded while wiping the wine glass. After finishing the barbecue, Lucifer shook the wine glass gently and suddenly asked, "Boss, who is the strongest person in this town?" As soon as he finished speaking, the noisy tavern instantly became quiet. Hundreds of pairs of eyes looked at Lucifer at the same time, and some people's eyes widened, as if their eyes were about to pop out. "Brother, why are you asking this?" the boss asked with his mouth twitching. "It's nothing. I'm just a little curious. If possible, I'd like to challenge him. I want to beat him to death, or be beaten to death by him." Lucifer smiled slightly. As soon as he finished speaking, a loud noise suddenly came from behind. A table was overturned, and 5 or 6 big men stood up instantly and came behind Lucifer. "Hey, kid, what do you mean by what you just said? Too arrogant? Kid, are you looking for death?" A man held a pistol and put it to Lucifer's temple. "Kid, sometimes if you say the wrong thing, you will lose your life." Lucifer's expression remained unchanged, and he still maintained a flat smile. He ignored the pistol on his temple and asked calmly, "Are you related to the person I'm looking for?" "Ah, that's right, kid," the man with the gun growled. "In this town, the strongest one is undoubtedly our captain, Mr. Reynolds. A kid like you can be crushed to death by our captain with just a few fingers." "Yeah, that's a coincidence. I'm missing someone to lead the way." The corners of Lucifer's mouth curled up, and these 2 low words blurted out. "Flying sword." Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Several rays of sword light suddenly lit up, bringing with them large swaths of blood. Hundreds of people in the tavern were stunned by this sudden scene. They thought that Lucifer, the brat, would be beaten in the next second. Exploding the head, I didn't expect him to pretend to be a pig and eat the tiger. On the surface, he was a pretty boy, but in fact he was terrifyingly strong. When everyone came to their senses, they found that the 6 men surrounding Lucifer had fallen into a pool of blood. 5 of them were stabbed by flying swords. His heart was pierced, and he could no longer die. Only the man who held the gun before was still alive, but his right hand holding the gun had been cut off. He was half kneeling on the ground, with a ferocious expression, and screamed in agony. Lucifer putting down the wine glass, he turned to look at the man at his feet and asked calmly, "Can you take me to your captain?" "Mix bastard, do you know who I am? I am a member of the Angry Leopard Pirates." The pirate raised his head and gritted his teeth. "Do you know how strong my captain is? If you dare to hurt me, Captain Reynolds won't let you go. You are dead. There will be no place for you in the entire sea. Even if you escape to the ends of the earth, you will still be dead." Boom. The man's head suddenly exploded, and red and white things flew everywhere, scattering all over the ground. The customers around the bar were unfortunately splattered with blood, but they didn't dare to move or even wipe the blood off their bodies. Because Lucifer, the evil star, was still there, they were afraid that if they moved, Lucifer would misunderstand him and take action against him, and follow in the footsteps of those pirates. "There is too much nonsense. I will let you lead the way. Why are you talking so much?" Lucifer shook his head and took back his palm. He really didn't want to listen to this pirate making a noise anymore. It made his head hurt. Everyone, can any of you take me to the location of the furious leopard pirates? Lucifer stood up and looked around the tavern and asked. After killing several people, Lucifer still kept a smile on his face. He was very handsome and a gentleman. It is hard to imagine that such a young man with a smile just breathed out killed 6 pirates. One of them even had his head blown off, leaving no body intact. His ruthless methods were completely different from his handsome appearance. Perhaps because he was transformed into a hell demon, Lucifer was used to this. Life is without any disturbance in my heart. The furious leopard pirates are stationed in a building in the center of the town, and you can find them there. In the corner of the tavern, a man said tremblingly, "Really, thank you very much." Lucifer got the news he wanted and left the tavern. Seeing Lucifer's back disappear, the hundreds of people in the tavern finally breathed a sigh of relief. A dozen pirates sat on the ground, soaked with sweat, looking exhausted, gasping for air. Lucifer put too much pressure on them. When Lucifer's gaze swept over them, everyone felt cold all over, as if their throats were being strangled, and they would die at any time. Who is this young man? Have you never heard of this person before? I don't know, but his strength must be unfathomable. This guy is a monster, on the same level as those monsters in the sea. He said he was going to find Reynolds the Raging Leopard, but he didn't know who would win and who would lose. Do you want to go and take a look? The next battle will definitely be exciting. Okay, let's go together. It's human nature to join in the fun, and it's even more natural for pirates to watch the fun without taking it too seriously. Almost half of the people in the tavern chased him out and quietly followed Lucifer to the center of the town. They all want to know if Lucifer can defeat the Raging Leopard Reynolds. The tavern owner didn't join in the fun. He just tore off a reward notice on the wall behind him. The reward order showed a photo of a fierce man with a reward of up to 230 million Baileys, and it turned out to be Reynolds the Furious Leopard. In the first half of the Grand Line, such bounty amounts were already very high, and they could almost be regarded as overlords. But the tavern owner's intention was clear. Reynolds, the Furious Leopard, would lose this battle. Reynolds, who loses, will undoubtedly die. For a person who is about to die, there is no point in posting a reward order here. The town is not big, and Lucifer quickly arrived at the center of the town. Outside a 3-story building, 20 or 30 pirates were sitting together for a banquet. Although they were smiling, their faces were fierce. Some were drinking, some were eating meat, and some were wiping their swords. On the left and right sides of the gate, there were more than a dozen pirate corpses hanging upside down. Under the exposure of the sun, it has become a mummy. No one passing by dared to approach the building because it was the headquarters of the Furious Leopard Pirates. There are many villains on Fail Island, but the strongest ones are undoubtedly the Furious Leopard Pirates. Anyone who dares to offend them will soon become one of the mummies. Seeing Lucifer approaching, a pirate jumped out immediately. "Hey, kid, this is not the place you should be." Before he finished speaking, a long sword had pierced the pirate's throat. When the pirate's body fell, dozens of long swords fell from the sky. Puff, 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 puff. Flowers of blood bloomed, and pirates died one by one. In just an instant, the dozens of pirates guarding the gate were all dead. Enemy attack! Enemy attack! Someone come quickly! A pirate who survived was so frightened that his liver and gallbladder split. While roaring, he rolled and crawled into the building. A few hundred meters outside the building, there were many criminals hiding in the dark and watching. They saw the road Shifa started without saying a word, killing dozens of people, and his legs were so frightened that they became weak. Inside the building, Raging Leopard Reynolds was having a banquet with his men. He was sitting on the main seat, holding 2 beauties with gorgeous figures in his arms on the left and right. One beautiful woman fed him barbecue, and another beautiful woman fed him wine. They enjoyed it very much. Coupled with the flattery of hundreds of pirates under his command, the life of Raging Leopard Reynolds is comparable to paradise. Unfortunately, the sudden scream disturbed his good mood. Captain Reynolds, there's an enemy intruder." A pirate rushed into the banquet hall and screamed miserably. Nanny? Who dares to trespass on my territory? Don't you want to live? Reynolds was immediately furious, swung his big hand, and pushed the two beauties in his arms aside. He picked up the pirate's collar and said angrily, "Who is coming? How many people are there? What about the people responsible for guarding?" "Dead. They are all dead." The pirate yelled with a cry. "That man is a monster. Are you saying there is only one enemy? Are you kidding me?" Reynolds' first reaction was that he didn't believe it. How much do you look down on him if a person dares to break into his base camp? However, before he could ask again, two figures suddenly crashed into the banquet hall from outside. A group of pirates unable to dodge, he was knocked upside down. Reynolds took a closer look and saw that they were two corpses. The corpses were twisted out of shape, but they were obviously his pirates. Boom, boom, boom. At this moment, footsteps sounded. All the pirates in the banquet hall showed ferocious looks, hundreds of pairs of eyes staring at the entrance. All the pirates were ready to attack, and when the enemy appeared, they would step forward and hack them to death. Here, but in their lair of the angry leopard pirates, there are hundreds of them. How can they be afraid of one person? Finally, Lucifer appeared in the eyes of many pirates. "Yo, is it really lively here?" Lucifer looked around the banquet hall and smiled faintly. "Were you the one who killed my men, kid?" Reynolds threw away the pirate in his hand and roared fiercely. "It's me." "Then go die." "Kill him." Reynolds gave the order, and hundreds of pirates in the banquet hall took action at the same time. Several combatants were the closest, holding swords and slashing at Lucifer. Faced with hundreds of people surrounding him, Lucifer's expression did not change, but raise your palm and lower it gently. "Blade storm. Blade storm." As soon as the words fell, the space behind opened up, and countless flying swords and long knives flew out, sweeping away the hundreds of pirates who rushed up like a storm. These pirates were just a group of miscellaneous fish, without mastering the domineering force of weapons. Their physical strength was not strong enough to withstand the sword. Swept by the storm of blades, they were immediately stabbed into hedgehogs or cut into pieces. In just one impact, 99% of hundreds of pirates died. A few pirates were lucky. He's not dead, but his arms and legs have been cut off and he's become a cripple. Ding. The host kills the soldiers and gets 500 killing points. Ding. The host kills the soldiers and gets 600 killing points. Ding. The host kills the soldiers and gets 300 killing points. The name is abandoned. I don't want to take the name of the miscellaneous pirates anymore. The system's beeps sounded one after another, and Lucifer gained a large number of killing points. Some of the members of the furious leopard pirates were quite capable, and they all added hundreds of kill points to Lucifer. After killing hundreds of miscellaneous fish pirates, Lucifer gained a total of 7,000 kill points, which is almost equivalent to a pirate with a bounty of 70 million Baileys and almost 2 black snakes. Not bad. Lucifer smiled faintly. But in Reynolds' eyes, this smile was a naked provocation. "Damn you, kid. How dare you look down on me? I'll kill you." Reynolds roared, and his size quickly grew. As black hair grew all over his body, his head turned into a leopard's head with 2 sharp fangs. In the blink of an eye, Reynolds turned into a humanoid black man with a height of more than 5 meters. Leopard. Reynolds is a black panther who ate the cat fruit and took the form of a black panther. This is also where the name of his pirate group comes from. "Go to hell, kid." Reynolds appeared in front of Lucifer as if teleporting, and his huge claws tore at Lucifer's neck. With Reynolds' strength, coupled with the ability of the Black Panther fruit, his claws can easily tear through steel. Gravity crushes. Lucifer did not dodge. After saying one sentence, an unparalleled gravity suddenly appeared and pressed on Reynolds. There was a loud bang. The ground trembled under his feet, and Reynolds was directly pressed to the ground. He vomited blood. 2 fangs broke instantly, and countless bones in the body were broken. Reynolds lay on the ground, unable to move, and felt like a mountain was pressing on his back. And as Lucifer increased the gravity, the weight of the mountain became more and more the heavier. "Ah!" Reynolds screamed. His body split open, blood spurted out, and he instantly turned into a bloody man. Why? Why do you do this? We have not offended you at all. Why are you causing trouble for us? Reynolds' eyes were dim, and he would lose consciousness at any time. But before losing consciousness, he wanted to know the reason why Lucifer took action against them. Why is there so much in the world of pirates? It just happens that you are here. Lucifer sneered. Is this your first day as a pirate? You actually asked such a ridiculous question? Since you become a pirate, you should be prepared to die at any time. Otherwise, what kind of pirate is it? Lucifer pressed down with his fingers, increasing gravity again. The ground collapsed directly, forming a bottomless pit. Reynolds' internal organs were crushed by the gravity, and he died on the spot. His body also fell into the bottomless pit. Ding! The host kills Reynolds and gets 20,000 killing points. The system's prompt sounded, and Lucifer's killing points increased by 20,000. Is it only 20,000 this time? It seems that Reynolds' strength is not worthy of his bounty. Lucifer knew that the killing points he gained by beheading the enemy were not determined by the bounty, but by his strength. Although Reynolds' bounty was as high as 230 million Baileys, his strength did not reach that level. At this level, there are only 20,000 killing points. Seeing Reynolds being killed, the remaining pirates of the Angry Leopard Pirates were frightened. They never thought that their captain would be killed so easily. But after regaining consciousness, they immediately knelt before Lucifer and begged for mercy. Big Sir, please spare our lives. We are willing to be your subordinates and your dogs. Yes, we can come in handy. More than a dozen pirates kowtowed to Lucifer, their voices trembling and crying. Subordinates? I don't need such weak subordinates as you. Lucifer shook his head. Moreover, you are so insincere in kowtowing and begging for mercy. Your skin has not even been broken. It would be best to die here. Gravity crushes. As soon as the words fell, the familiar gravity appeared again. Bang, 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 bang. The bodies of more than a dozen pirates exploded one after another, and their flesh and blood flew everywhere. In the huge banquet hall, corpses were everywhere as far as the eye could see. The walls and ceiling were also covered with minced meat. The previously noisy banquet hall had now become a purgatory on earth. On the other hand, Lucifer had not even a drop of blood on his body and was still as clean and tidy as new. And from beginning to end, Lucifer didn't move a step. He just said a few words and wiped out the furious leopard pirates. After today's battle, Lucifer better understood the horror of the word spirit fruit, and he was the strongest at speaking. A gentleman never uses his words. Take action. I'm talking about Lucifer. It seems that from now on, I will go further and further on the road of being a gentleman. Lucifer smiled faintly. It's time to give my idea a try. All things are led by heaven. Lucifer raised his hand and grabbed it, and strong gravity exploded in his palm, sucking Reynolds' body up from the bottom of the pit. At the same time, a piece of fruit appeared in Lucifer's left hand. Be reborn. A faint voice sounded, as if it had touched the rules of the world, and a tiny, untouchable ripple flashed through the space. Then, an invisible energy flew out of Reynolds' body. This energy cannot be detected by humans, even the most powerful person. Even the peak power of knowledge and color can't be sensed, but Lucifer can see it. Lucifer controlled this energy to fly into the fruit in his hand, and soon, the fruit changed. First, the color became dark, and at the same time, the surface of the fruit changed. Complex and weird spiral patterns grew. Just like that, a devil fruit was reborn. This devil fruit was actually Reynolds' cat fruit, Black Panther form. Sure enough it can. Lucifer was a little surprised. The idea of recovering the devil fruit came to him in a flash of inspiration. He didn't expect it to be successful, but he didn't expect that the power of the word spirit fruit was even more incredible than what he thought. Whatever you say will follow your will, and everything will follow your heart. Can control all matter. Now even the devil fruit cannot escape Lucifer's control. With this ability, no matter what fruit Lucifer wants in the future, he only needs to kill the original owner. The dark fruit can take away the abilities of others. The word spirit fruit is more heaven-defying than the dark fruit. There's no reason why it can't be done. Ding! it is detected that the host has obtained a devil fruit, which can be recycled by the system and gain killing points. At this moment, the electronic sound of the system suddenly sounded. Does the system also have a recycling function? Lucifer was a little surprised. How many kill points can you get by recycling the Black Panther fruit? Lucifer asked in his heart. Cat fruit panther form. It is an ordinary animal devil fruit. You can get 30,000 kill points by recycling it. 30,000 is not bad. Lucifer nodded secretly. The Black Panther fruit can only be regarded as ordinary in the animal system. It is not an ancient species, let alone a fantasy beast species. If it is the latter two, the value will be even greater. We will not recycle it for the time being, but keep it for now. Lucifer flipped his hand and put away the Black Panther fruit. In the ordinary animal system, the Black Panther fruit is a carnivore, and it is considered superior. It can be compared with CP9 Rob Lucci's cheetah ability. The powerful devil fruit is rare. Just look at the abilities of CP9. If the Black Panther fruit is developed well, it can also cultivate a strong person. There are also devil fruits for sale in the system store, and even fantasy beast species are available, but the prices are very high. Expensive. If Lucifer is willing to spend money, he can naturally get stronger fruits. But he is too poor now and alone, so he does not need the fruits. In the future, if he finds qualified subordinates, he can use the Black Panther fruits to cultivate them, or he can sell the Black Panther fruit and replace it with a stronger one. The choice is yours. After confirming that there were no surviving pirates in the building, Lucifer turned and left the banquet hall. At this time, countless criminals were entrenched outside the building. Everyone was watching the battle, trying to see the final winner. Everyone heard the screams coming from the building, and everyone felt chilled. After the screams disappeared, they saw the smiling man Lucifer walked out of the building. Seeing this smiling young man, countless criminals in the dark felt numb. Winning, really winning. Lucifer walked out safe and sound, and the outcome of the battle was clear at a glance. Although there were many people thought in advance that Lucifer would be the winner in the end. But after what happened, they all felt very incredible. After all, Lucifer was too young, and the battle process was too short. From Lucifer entering the building to coming out, the process less than 10 minutes. Who would have thought that such a harmless pretty boy could single-handedly wipe out the furious leopard pirates in just 10 minutes? What a monster! Soon, this monster's name will spread throughout the sea. What's his name? Don't know, but we'll find out soon. Such a monster is destined to become famous all over the world. Everyone knows that Lucifer's name will soon spread throughout the Grand Line. Ignoring the secret gaze, Lucifer left the center of the town and returned to the tavern where he had dined before. Boss, let's have 10 barbecues and 2 bottles of rum, Lucifer said as he threw a stack of banknotes on the bar. After gaining the devil's physique, Lucifer ate a lot. The roast he ate before was not even enough to fit between his teeth. After killing people, he was hungry again. No, I'll treat you this time. The boss was a little afraid, and nodded and bowed towards Lucifer, showing a flattering smile. He was very quick, and in less than 3 minutes, 10 roasted meats were placed in front of Lucifer. During the meal, Lucifer called up his attribute panel. Attributes panel. Host, Lucifer. Age, 23. Devil fruit. Word spirit fruit. Physique, hell demon. Armed color hockey. Intermediate. Knowledge color hockey. Awakening. Overlord color hockey. Awakening. Killing points, 30,000. The total number of killing points has reached 30,000, and another one can be carried out. The wave is consumed. Lucifer opens the system store and gives the order. System, purchase the primary knowledge color hockey and the overlord color hockey. Ding. If you successfully purchase the Baki and overlord colors, 10,000 killing points will be deducted, leaving 20,000 killing points. Power emerged, flowed throughout the body, and finally merged into one. Lucifer's knowledge color hockey and overlord color hockey were simultaneously upgraded to the primary stage. At the primary stage, Lucifer can freely use these 2 powers. Although he is still very weak, at least you can control it freely. In fact, Lucifer can upgrade both his wisdom-colored hockey and overlord-colored hockey to the intermediate level at the same time. but that will use up all his kill points. At present, Lucifer still wants to upgrade the armed color hockey to a high level first, and then upgrade the other two types of hockey. Attribute panel. Host, Lucifer. Age, 23. Devil fruit. Word spirit fruit. Physique, hell demon. Armed color hockey, intermediate. Hearing color hockey, elementary. Overlord color hockey, elementary. Killing points, 20,000. While Lucifer was dining, all the other guests in the tavern quietly left the tavern. A pirate came in outside the door. After seeing that the person dining was Lucifer, he was immediately frightened and ran away in panic. After the bloodbath of the furious leopard pirates, Lucifer's reputation on Falu Island became extremely bad, making everyone fearful of it. Boss, besides Reynolds the Furious Leopard, are there any other guys on this island who can be named? After finishing 10 pieces of barbecue, Lucifer gently shook his wine glass and asked, "Yes, in addition to Reynolds, there is Adam the Blood Axe and Paul the Cleaver. The strength of both of them is very close to that of Reynolds, only one step behind. These three people are the three giants of Falu Island. Reynolds Station is in the center of the town, and the other two are on the east and west sides of the town." The tavern owner naturally knew everything about Lucifer's question. While speaking, he tore off 2 reward notices from the wall behind him and placed them in front of Lucifer. One was for Blood Axe Adam, with a reward of 150 million belly. One of them belongs to Paul the Cleaver, with a reward of 190 million belly. These 3 guys are all criminals with a bounty of over 100 million. So why don't they go to the New World? Lucifer said with a playful smile. They went there, but in the end they all fled back in despair. The tavern owner shook his head, with a hint of bitterness on the corner of his mouth. This bitterness was not only because of the 3 Reynolds, but also because of himself. Because he, like these 3 pirates, is a loser. Countless pirates appear every year. Groups rush into the New World, but within half a year, half of these pirate groups that rush into the New World will collapse. Most of the remaining half of the pirate groups will choose to join the strong men in the New World. A very small number of pirates in the New World will, if the world cannot survive, they will escape back to paradise. Obviously, Reynolds and Adam are all losers who escaped from the New World. No wonder. Lucifer smiled sarcastically. Now he finally knows why Reynolds is the only one in the Angry Leopard Pirates who has the strength. It stands to reason that a pirate with a bounty of more than 200 million would have several subordinates with bounties of tens of millions, or even tens of millions. There are hundreds of millions of cadres, but the Angry Leopard Pirates don't have that. Reynolds' men are all a bunch of trash. His capable cadres must have died in the New World. The group of trash under him now is a group of trash after escaping back to the paradise. Recruited. Big 3? They're just a bunch of trash? Such a loser can only hide in paradise and linger. Lucifer shook his head and smiled, put down his glass, stood up and left the tavern. In the east area of the town, in a tavern, this is the headquarters of the Blood Axe Pirates. At this time, the Blood Axe Pirates were having a banquet. The daily life of a pirate is always so ordinary. Apart from killing, plundering, and fighting, the only thing left is having banquets. Captain Adam, when are we going to do something big again? I haven't killed anyone in a long time, and my sword is already thirsty. That's right, my money is almost running out. After looting a few more towns, we can rush into the New World. More than 200 pirates gathered together, making the tavern very noisy. The pirates' eyes were all on a burly man in the main seat. He was the captain of the Blood Axe Pirates, Adam Morris. Adam Light, his arms were bare, his body was full of muscles, and his chest, back and back were covered with crisscrossing scars. Especially on the left chest, there was a huge scar that covered almost 1/3 of his chest. Just looking at the scars, you can tell the extent of the injury. How terrifying it is. It's hard to imagine how Adam survived in the first place. Wait a minute, don't worry. We will soon be able to rush into the New World. As long as you follow me, you can become famous all over the world. Adam laughed loudly and drank all the bottle of rum in one breath. That's right, the captain is the strongest. The captain will definitely become the Pirate King, and then we will be the crew of the Pirate King. A group of pirate soldiers looked at Adam, their faces full of fanaticism, and they all fawned over them. But Adam himself was different. When he mentioned the new world, a trace of fear appeared in the depths of his pupils. Touching the huge scar on his left chest, the body will also tremble involuntarily. Only by truly understanding the new world can you know how terrible the new world is. Adam has already been there once, and that time he lost half his life, and almost all the elite pirates under his command were wiped out. On the run after returning to the paradise, Adam has been recruiting crew members, accumulating strength, and wants to fight back to the new world. But this date is far away. Adam knows that he is afraid. He has wanted to set sail countless times and fight back to the new world, but every time he would come up with a reason to convince himself. The reason he convinced himself was that the strength he had accumulated was not enough, and he needed more powerful subordinates. In this way, the date of setting sail was delayed again and again. As time went by, the more scared he became, the less he dared to return to that terrifying hell. Over time, Adam became what he is now, numbing himself with alcohol every day, bragging with a group of pirates at banquets, showing off his past glory and legends. It is impossible to set sail. It is impossible to set sail in this life. He couldn't win the fight. The new world was too dangerous, so it was better to stay in the paradise. Adam's confidence has been destroyed, and he is now a fallen pirate, a complete loser. He is now telling his subordinates that he wants to fight back to the new world, but he is just deceiving himself. The banquet was very lively, and hundreds of pirates were just messing around. The praise made Adam feel proud. He felt that life like this was very good. Here, he was very strong, and no one dared to provoke him. Suddenly, a panicked voice suddenly came from the noisy banquet, breaking his fantasy. Captain Adam, something bad is going on." A panicked pirate rushed in from outside the door. He was unsteady on his feet and fell to the ground. He slid face down for more than 10 meters and finally stopped at Adam's feet. "What happened? What are you doing in a hurry?" Adam was a little angry. The pirates under his command were frightened like this, which would make him seem incompetent as a captain. "Captain, something bad has happened. Reynolds was killed, and the angry leopard pirates were bloodbathed." The pirate soldiers said everything in fear, instantly causing the noisy banquet hall to fall into a dead silence. "What did you say? Can you say that again?" Adam's color suddenly changed. "Really, word has gotten out." The pirate Zayu said in fear, "Today a new person came to the island. He is a monster. He alone wiped out the entire angry leopard pirates." Remembering what Lucifer did, the pirates were trembling with fear. "Did that idiot Reynolds offend the other party?" Adam asked. "No, Reynolds didn't know him at all." The pirate soldiers shook their heads repeatedly. "That monster kills people for no reason at all, as if he is looking for prey. Some people on the island are spreading rumors that his next target is our blood axe pirates. Is it a bounty hunter?" Adam first thought of this type of people. The only ones who would hunt pirates as prey are bounty hunters. There are also strong people among bounty hunters, and many bounty hunters can thrive even in the new world. The pirates in the tavern looked at each other in dead silence, and no one spoke. When they looked at each other, they could see the fear in each other's eyes. How strong is the angry leopard pirates? They know best. In terms of overall strength, even stronger than the blood axe pirates. If that monster can annihilate the furious leopard pirates, it can annihilate the blood axe pirates. If he comes looking for them, they will definitely die. "Captain, what should we do now?" "Yes, Captain, come up with an idea? How about we leave, keep the green hills, and don't worry about running out of firewood?" "That's right, Captain. There's no reason for us to fight a monster." Hundreds of pirates were all frightened. They were already thinking about running away before they saw Lucifer. Their previous heroic ambitions of dreaming about entering the new world all disappeared at this moment, and the nature of the trash fish was fully exposed. "What you said makes sense. Let's leave first, and then come back after we build up strength." Adam looked at the pirates in front of him and shouted with pride, "We are the strongest blood axe pirates. We will not be afraid. This retreat is just to avoid unnecessary fighting. We will be able to regain our position one day in the future." Guys, pack your things, let's go. Adam shouted angrily. Yes, Captain. The pirate soldiers responded one after another and then began to pack their things. Looking at the pirate soldiers who still admired him, Adam nodded secretly in his heart. As a captain, he also wants to save face and cannot show fear and terror in front of his younger brother. As for kill them back? Stop joking. Adam, who has personally experienced the New World, knows very well that the monsters that can single-handedly wipe out the Raging Panther pirates are definitely not something they can provoke. Is it too late to think of running away now? Suddenly, a voice came from outside the tavern, echoing around. Who? Adam immediately turned his head to look at the door of the tavern, his eyes fixed on the outside. Hundreds of pirates also picked up their weapons and stood ready. Boom! A shock wave roared into the tavern, beating a group of pirates to their knees. The dozens of pirates who were hit from the front were directly torn to pieces by the shock wave, and their flesh and blood flew everywhere. The pirates in the tavern were so frightened that they fled in all directions. Adam also involuntarily raised his giant axe to protect his body. Dong, 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 dong. Harsh footsteps sounded. Lucifer stepped into the tavern and smiled at everyone. Yo, it's so lively here. Do you mind adding me to the party? Seeing Lucifer appear, the pirate soldier who reported the news was so frightened that his face twisted. It's him. It's him. He's the monster who slaughtered the furious leopard pirates with blood. The hoarse roar rang in the ears of hundreds of pirates, making their whole bodies feel cold. Why come here? Why did it come so quickly? Adam was panicked. He took a few steps back involuntarily and glanced at the small door behind him, which was the back door of the tavern. Faced with such a monster, Adam didn't even think about fighting. His first reaction was to run away. But on the surface, he don't show fear. This is too much bullying, kids. Come together and kill this kid. Adam roared and gave the order. You're right. There are hundreds of us, and he's only one person. There is nothing to be afraid of. Kill him. Cut him to death. Hundreds of pirates mustered up their courage and swarmed forward to kill Lucifer. However, Adam himself took advantage of the attack by his men and quietly took a few steps back without leaving a trace. Bang! The ground beneath his feet exploded, and Adam turned into the black shadow shot at the back door of the tavern. The attack was fake, but the escape was real. In Adam's eyes, hundreds of pirates and miscellaneous soldiers were just cannon fodder. How could his own life be important? He doesn't even have the courage to fight. He is really a loser. Lucifer showed a hint of disdain in his eyes and raised his hand slightly. Blade storm. As soon as he finished speaking, the space behind him split open, and countless swords shot out, forming a tornado of swords and rushed into the tavern. The storm of blades roared past, sweeping away hundreds of pirates, even the fleeing Adam. He was pulled back. Countless sharp blades cut him. Shrill screams came one after another, and a lot of blood and flesh flew everywhere. There was a loud bang, and a storm of sharp blades exploded. Thousands of swords flew in all directions, piercing the walls and floor of the tavern. And several hundreds of pirates have been cut into countless pieces of flesh by sharp blades, and no bones are left. With one move, the Blood Axe pirates were completely wiped out, leaving no one alive. Ding! The host killed Adam Morris and obtained 18,000 killing points. Ding! The host kills the pirate soldiers and gets 500 killing points. Ding! The host killed the pirate soldiers and obtained 700 killing points. Ding! The host killed the pirate soldiers and obtained 400 killing points. A series of system prompts sounded, and Lucifer's killing point increased sharply. Not surprisingly, Adam Bloodaxe kill points don't match his bounty either. In this wave, Lucifer gained a total of 23,000 kill points. Attribute panel. Host, Lucifer. Age, 23. Devil fruit. Word spirit fruit. Physique, hell demon. Armed color hockey. Intermediate. Hearing color hockey. Elementary. Overlord color hockey. Elementary. Killing points, 43,000. Including the original 20,000, Lucifer's killing point the total number reached 43,000. There is still 7,000 left to buy high-grade armed color domineering. Lucifer smiled calmly, turned around and left the tavern. In the direction he left was the headquarters of the cutting pirates. Captain Paul, I heard that a monster bounty hunter came to the island. Should we pay attention? Yes, I heard that this monster single-handedly wiped out the furious leopard pirates. It is simply terrifying. Cut the pirate group station. Several pirate soldiers looked at a blond man carefully, with nervous expressions. Pay attention? Anything worth noting? The blond man snorted coldly, looking at the pirates at his feet with wide eyes. Who do you think I am? I'm Paul the Cutter. He's just a kid who just debuted. What's there to be afraid of? Let me ask you, what is there to be afraid of? Paul grabbed the neck of a pirate soldier in front of him and used force with his palms. The pirate soldier, whose neck was choked, struggled violently and his eyes bulged. He wanted to beg for mercy, but he couldn't speak. After a while, the pirate's neck hit. Damn, I died immediately. Trash. Paul threw away the body with his hands, just like throwing away a dead dog. The other pirates were trembling with fear when they saw the captain being so cruel. Among the 3 captains of the pirate groups on Falu Island, Paul the Cutter was the most cruel and cruel. One, he kills people when they disagree, even his own crew members. 80 if not 100 crew members died in his hands. The crew of the cutting pirates didn't agree with Paul as the captain, but they didn't dare to complain, let alone betray. Those who complained and betrayed have already been crushed to death by Paul. A mere brat who thinks he has some strength dares to act arrogantly. Who does he think he is? He's still far away. This sea is not that simple. Paul was moody and fell directly into a state of rage. He picked up a bottle of wine and drank it boldly, then threw it to the ground. Seeing Paul in this state, the surrounding pirates became even more frightened and stayed away, not daring to take a step closer. There were only a few pirates in the corner who looked a little disappointed and helpless when they saw Paul like this. In fact, Paul, the cutter who had just debuted, was not like this. At that time, Paul was high-spirited and wanted to be the pirate king. He treated everyone on the ship. The crew members are also as close as brothers. During battles, he always rushes to the front. The crew members on the ship respect him very much and are even willing to sacrifice their lives for him. But after experiencing the fiasco in the New World, Paul changed. His pirate group was almost wiped out, his self-esteem was shattered, and his pride was gone. After escaping back to the paradise, Paul the Cutter became a degenerate pirate. He drank and lost his temper every day, and even treated his own crew members harshly. Dead hand. He became crazy and moody, like a cripple who could only be incompetent and furious. This sea is not that simple. Paul seemed to be drunk, his face was red, and he was sitting on the chair muttering to himself. At this moment, 3 whirlwind strikes suddenly flew in from outside the door. Dozens of pirates bore the brunt and were struck on the spot, cut into pieces. Flesh and blood flew everywhere, shocking everyone. Boom. Before Paul could react, the high-rise building had been cut into 4 pieces, like a cake with 3 cuts. A piece of building debris fell and hit Paul on the head. What's the situation? There are enemies. It's that monster. It must be that monster coming. We are doomed. The members of the cutting pirates were scared out of their wits and fled around like frightened rats. Boom. A piece of building debris was cut into pieces. A disheveled Paul jumped out from under the rubble and shouted in a hissing voice, "Why are you panicking? What's the point of panic? I'm not dead yet." Seeing that Paul was still alive, the members of the pirate group seemed to have found their backbone. Although they were also afraid of Paul, his presence could at least give them a sense of security. I want to see what kind of brat dares to challenge Paul, the cutter. Paul jumped 10 meters high, and rushed out of the station building. He saw Lucifer standing outside the building at a glance. He was very young and handsome. He was just a pretty boy, the favorite of rich women, that kind of thing. He could kill as many as 800 if not 1,000 pretty boys like this. You arrogant brat, go to hell. Paul waved his hand, and the air rippled, shooting 3 vacuum slashes and flying towards Lucifer. He was the cutter who ate the cut fruit, and he was also a famous pirate at the beginning. With this ability, Paul's favorite it is to cut off the enemy's head and hang it on the bow of the ship. This is where the name of the cutter comes from. Trivial skills. Lucifer smiled coldly and gently lowered his raised palm. Wind blade. As soon as he finished speaking, a gust of wind appeared out of thin air, forming a huge gust of wind slash that broke through the air. Paul's vacuum slash was directly defeated, and finally the wind blade struck him. Poof! Blood splashed, flesh and blood flying sideways. Paul the Cutter was directly chopped into pieces by the wind blade, turning into flesh and blood pouring down from the sky. Ding! The host killed Paul Kelsey and obtained 18,000 killing points. The system's electronic sound sounded, and Lucifer's killing point finally exceeded 50,000. No, it's too harsh. Can the devil fruit be recovered after the body is broken into pieces? Lucifer was a little dumbfounded and quickly gave the order. Be reborn. The words fell, touching the rules of the world. Just as an invisible force was about to escape, it was restrained by Lucifer's spiritual power. Under Lucifer's control, this force was sent into a fruit. Soon, the fruit becomes a devil fruit. Superman cuts the fruit and recovers it successfully. Lucifer smiled faintly and put away the devil fruit. If you kill a pirate, you will not only get killing points, but also a devil fruit. Eat 2 fish for 1 and make a lot of money. Dead, Captain dead? No, it's impossible. How could the captain die? The captain is dead. What should we do? Run, run. That man is a monster. He's going to be killed. Seeing with my own eyes that Paul's body was gone, hundreds of pirates from the Cutting Pirates began to flee in all directions. The screams and shouts of terror kept ringing out. It was hard to imagine that this was a group of murderous pirates. In the face of death, everyone is the same. Lucifer smiled coldly and lowered his palm again. Wind blade. The roaring wind was like a sharp knife, sweeping through the pirates and cutting them into pieces. In the blink of an eye, all the members of the Cutting Pirates were dead, and even their station building was turned into ruins. Ding! The host killed the pirate soldiers and obtained 1,500 killing points. Ding! The host killed the pirate soldiers and obtained 900 killing points. Ding! The host killed the pirate soldiers and obtained 800 killing points. Ding! The host killed the pirate soldiers and obtained 300 killing points. A series of system prompts sounded, and Lucifer's killing point increased sharply. In this wave, Lucifer once again gained 9,000 kill points. Including the 18,000 points gained from killing Paul, this hunt resulted in a total of 27,000 kill points. Attribute panel. Host, Lucifer. Age, 23. Devil fruit. Word spirit fruit. Physique, hell demon. Armed color hockey. Intermediate. Hearing color hockey. Beginner. Overlord color hockey. Beginner. Killing points, 70,000. Lucifer's total killing points are counted together reached 70,000 points. Killing 3 pirate groups in a row, the harvest is indeed not bad. Lucifer opened the system store and found armed color hockey. System, purchase advanced armed color domineering. Ding! The armed color domineering purchase was successful. 50,000 killing points were deducted, and the remaining killing points were 20,000. Familiar energy appeared in Lucifer's body, and in an instant, Lucifer's armed domineering power increased to a high level. With the blessing of the system, Lucifer's power changes were completed in an instant, and there was no violation in its use. There are 20,000 killing points left, just enough to upgrade the Wisdom color and Overlord color. Lucifer glanced at the balance and gave instructions in his heart. System, by the intermediate level of Knowledge color domineering and the intermediate level of Overlord color domineering. Ding! If you successfully purchase the intermediate level hockey of Knowledge and the intermediate hockey of Overlord, 20,000 killing points will be deducted, and the remaining killing points will be 0. In this way, Lucifer upgraded the hockey of Knowledge, hockey, and hockey to the intermediate level. With continuous consumption, Lucifer's 70,000 killing points were all spent, and there was no balance at all. But the consumption in exchange for power was worth it. Lucifer went to sea to hunt the sea. Thief, isn't it just to become stronger? Attribute panel. Host, Lucifer. Age, 23. Devil fruit. Word spirit fruit. Physique, hell demon. Armed Color Hockey, Advanced. Wisdom Color Hockey, Intermediate. Overlord Color Hockey, Intermediate. Killing points, 0. Next, it's time to hunt other targets. Looking at the killing point with a balance of 0, Lucifer started the next step of hunting. Philu Island is a famous three-no island in the first half of the Grant Line. In addition to Reynolds the Furious Leopard, Adam the Blood Axe, and Paul the Cleaver on the island, and there are many targets worth hunting. Although the killing points obtained by killing them are not as good as those of the big three, they are better than nothing. Boom, 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 boom. Just as Lucifer was about to head to the next target location, the coastal port in the distance, suddenly there was the sound of artillery bombardment. With the sound of artillery fire, the coastal port quickly turned into a sea of fire. Countless pirates, gangsters, and human traffickers fled in all directions, screaming in agony. What's the situation? Lucifer jumped up to a tall building. He saw 3 warships appearing on the sea not far from the port. Why is the Navy here? Lucifer stood on the roof of a tall building, his eyes narrowed. On the sea, 3 warships were approaching quickly. Among them was a warship of the highest standard, plus 2 cruisers. The warships fired in unison and fired countless shells at Philu. The island was bombed indiscriminately. The highest-level warships had at least 1 vice admiral from the Navy headquarters. Therefore, this operation was led by the Navy vice admiral. Lieutenant General Doberman, is it true that our indiscriminate bombing may harm civilians? On the warship, a colonel walked up behind Doberman and asked slightly nervously. It doesn't matter, Philu Island is full of lawless elements and no civilians, Doberman said in a low voice. However, might there be a bounty hunter among them? Them? Are you questioning my decision? Doberman's eyes widened, revealing a hint of murderous intent. No, I don't dare. It's because my subordinate made a mistake. The captain's heart skipped a beat, and he quickly shut up, not daring to say anything more. It was common for a hawkish vice admiral to kill his own subordinates. If he kept talking nonsense, he would die faster than a pirate. Doberman snorted coldly. Even bounty hunters are still a group of restless elements, and they are all targets that the Navy wants to eradicate. Wanting to implement absolute justice is not as simple as talking about it. Doberman looked at the flaming sea of Philu Island in the distance. His eyes were as calm as water, without any waves. He is an Eagle Navy. In order to eradicate evil, he hunts pirates. Even if it affects civilians, it will not affect them. He doesn't hesitate to kill. What's more, there are no civilians on Philu Island, so Doberman won't hesitate to issue an order to destroy it. Send me an order to destroy everything on Philu Island and make sure that no lawless elements can escape. Yes, Lieutenant General. The colonel saluted respectfully and left quickly to convey the order. After the order was issued, the artillery bombardment of the 3 warships became more intensive. As an island where lawless elements gather, Philu Island is very famous in the first half of the Grand Route. In the eyes of the Navy headquarters, Philu Island is like a cancer, an existence that must be eradicated. But this time, there are 3 pirate groups with over 100 million who have returned from the New World gathered on the island, which is more determined for the Navy headquarters to bulldoze Philu Island determination. That's why this operation was carried out. With Lieutenant General Doberman leading the team, 2 rear admirals, and thousands of naval forces, it was more than enough to bulldoze Philu Island. Boom, 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 boom. Artillery fire. The roar was endless. The sea of fire spread from the port. Half of the town was engulfed by the sea of fire, and the island became a hell on earth. Countless pirates and traffickers were killed by cannonballs, and more were burned to death by fire. Screams came and went. Mourning floods the land. Hey, hey, this is simply a small demon-slaying order. Lucifer stood on the top of a clock tower, looking at the sea of fire town below, somewhat speechless. The demon-slaying order consists of 5 vice admirals, 10 rear admirals, plus tens of thousands of naval elites and 10 warships. To deal with an indiscriminate destructive strike is carried out at a target location to completely eliminate all people and objects at the target location. This is the Navy's highest-scale military operation and will only be used once in many years. But what the Navy is doing now is exactly the same as the demon-slaying order. It's just that the lieutenant general is a little less and the firepower is a little weaker. But the essence is the same. It is to destroy everyone and everything on the island. I really suffered a disaster. Lucifer shook his head and waved away a few incoming cannonballs. Looking at the Navy's posture, it was obvious that they did not intend to let go of any living creature on the island. Lucifer was also on their must-kill list. It seems that my hunting operation has come to an end. The Navy is really good at grabbing people. Lucifer is a little helpless. The pirates and gangsters who are dead now are all killing points in Lucifer's eyes. But now, these killing points are all gone. Forget it. Find other goals. Lucifer's body shook, and 2 wings grew out of his back. The wings were pitch black, with extremely sharp edges, exuding an extremely evil aura. These are the demon wings of the Hell Demon, not the power of the word spirit fruit. Fan the demon with his wings. Lucifer turned into a strong wind, soared into the sky, and flew directly overseas. On the large naval ship, Doberman smoked a cigar and held his sword, looking indifferent. With his domineering knowledge, he can naturally sense the countless auras of despair on Filu Island. But he remained expressionless and showed no sign of mercy. As an iron-blooded soldier, he has long been used to life and death. Even if 10,000 people died, the mood would not change. Suddenly, Doberman frowned. He looked up at the sky and saw a black dot shooting out from the island and flying overseas. What an evil smell! Doberman's insightful look clearly perceived the evil aura on Black Dot, which was more evil than any pirate he had ever seen. Never let him go. Doberman took action, suddenly drew his sword, and a vacuum slash shot out of the air, instantly leaping 1,000 meters and hitting a black spot in the sky. The power of the slash exploded, triggering strong winds and blowing away the white clouds in the sky. Road Lucifer was suspended in the sky, his devil's wings constantly flapping, and his face was a little gloomy. Although the knife just now did not hurt him, it aroused Lucifer's anger. Originally, I planned to let you go, but now, you are seeking death on your own. Lucifer originally didn't want to go against the Navy. After all, he didn't want to be a pirate, and he didn't want to be hunted down with a bounty. What he wanted was to hunt pirates alone, gain killing points, become stronger quietly, and be with the Navy. Don't offend the river. Even the Navy has to thank him. But now, the Navy has taken the initiative to attack him. I will not offend anyone unless they offend me. If someone offends me, I will eradicate it. There was a loud bang, and the air exploded. Lucifer turned into a blacklight, shooting at the 3 naval warships in the distance. In just one breath, Lucifer arrived in front of the 3 warships. Originally, I didn't want to take action, but you insisted on forcing me to seek death. Lucifer flapped his devil's wings, causing violent winds and waves, and the evil aura erupted, making thousands of sailors tremble with fear. Pay attention, this guy is not simple. Guys who are not strong enough will retreat, Doberman shouted, and at the same time he jumped onto the bow turret and pointed his knife at Lucifer in the sky. Arrogant pirate, with me here, you can't even think of leaving alive today. Lucifer looked indifferent and didn't answer. He just raised his hand gently. Light sword, 8-foot Magatama. Like a devil's whisper, the moment it sounded, countless golden lightsabers appeared around Lucifer. In the blink of an eye, the sky was filled with dense golden lightsabers. Lieutenant General Doberman and 2 rear admirals on the warship, as well as thousands of Navy soldiers, they all looked at the vision in the sky in shock, dumbfounded. No, impossible. This trick is. Doberman couldn't hide the horror in his heart, and his expression was distorted. As if to confirm his guess, in the next second, countless flashing, flying swords fell from the sky, hitting the 3 warships like a heavy rain. Stop! Doberman roared, but it was too late. The moment the roar sounded, the attack had already arrived. 3 warships were hit by countless flashing flying swords, and were instantly blown into 3 huge fireballs. Thousands the naval soldier was blown away in an instant, and countless pieces of flesh and blood were scattered and turned into ashes. Ding! The host killed Rear Admiral Damon and obtained 18,000 killing points. Ding! The host killed Rear Admiral Brad and obtained 17,000 killing points. Ding! The host killed Commodore Moretz and obtained 10,000 killing points. Ding! The host killed Navy Captain Redmond and obtained 4,500 killing points. Ding! The host kills Navy Captain Oliphant and obtains 4,800 killing points. Ding! The host killed the Navy Lieutenant Colonel. Ding! The host kills the Navy Lieutenant Commander. A series of system prompts sounded, and Lucifer's killing point, which was originally 0, suddenly increased. The rate of soaring is unprecedented. Among the thousands of navies, those navies above the rank of lieutenant commander can obtain kill points after killing them. They ranged from hundreds to thousands, and the most were 2 rear admirals. The 2 provided Lucifer with 35,000 killing points. In this wave, Lucifer obtained a total of 75,000 kill points. Woohoo! A wave took off. Lucifer listened to the reminder sound in his mind, with an evil smile on his lips. At this moment, the fireball on the sea dissipated. The 3 warships had disappeared, and only some broken pieces of wood were floating on the sea. Densely packed corpses drifted with the waves. There were more broken limbs and broken flesh. Lieutenant General Doberman was holding a broken wooden board and floating on the sea, vomiting blood. He was in tatters, bruised and bleeding, and he would never be the same again. Of high spirits. Damn bastard, actually, ahem. Another mouthful of blood spurted out. Doberman's internal organs were seriously injured, and he couldn't even speak a complete sentence. He could only stare at Lucifer with a malicious look, as if he wanted to eat him alive. How about it? My moves are pretty powerful, right? How does it compare to your General Kizaru? Lucifer showed a smile and was very satisfied with the power of this move. He was right. Now that he is using the power of Flash, the power is not inferior to Kizaru's Shining Fruit. With one move, thousands of Navy were wiped out. Destroyed. Only a few people survived in the end. Lieutenant General Doberman, you shouldn't mess with me. Lucifer put away his smile, followed by a hint of indifference. If you want to blame, I can only blame you for being so mean and insisting on attacking me. The deaths of thousands of sailors today were all caused by you. After speaking, Lucifer stretched out his finger and pointed it at Doberman. Flash ray. With a whoosh, a golden flash of light shot out from Lucifer's fingers and instantly penetrated Doberman's head. With a loud bang, the flash ray exploded underwater, and another huge fireball appeared on the sea. In the Navy, General Doberman's body is gone. Ding! The host killed Vice Admiral Doberman and obtained 85,000 killing points. Oh? Is this guy so expensive? Lucifer was a little surprised, but after thinking about it for a moment, he felt that it was reasonable. Doberman is an elite lieutenant general of the Navy headquarters and the backbone of the Navy. The value of 85,000 killing points is very reasonable. And after killing Doberman, the total number of Lucifer's killing points has reached 160,000. Attribute panel. Host, Lucifer. Age, 23. Devil fruit. Word spirit fruit. Physique, hell demon. Armed color hockey, advanced. Wisdom color hockey, intermediate. Overlord color hockey, intermediate. Killing points, 160,000. 160,000 kill points, already breaking a record high. Not bad, very good. Lucifer was satisfied. If there are a few more waves, I will soon be able to collect 600,000 killing points. For a moment, Lucifer wanted to hunt the Navy specifically. Each elite vice admiral in the Navy headquarters is worth tens of thousands of killing points. As long as he kills a few more, he can quickly achieve his goal. It's a pity that I can only think about it now. There are only a dozen elite lieutenant generals in the Navy headquarters. They spend most of their time guarding the Navy headquarters and rarely go out. In the vast sea, it is difficult to find an elite lieutenant general in the Navy headquarters. It is better to hunt for high-value ones. Bounty for pirates. After finishing this job, my reward order should be out soon. Looking at the broken arms and limbs on the sea, Lucifer shook his head slightly. I didn't want to be an enemy of the Navy, but things are unpredictable and gods will play tricks on people. That's right. It wasn't me who was wrong. It was the Navy. I was just forced to kill someone as a last resort. Yes, it is like that. Lucifer nodded secretly, and then turned into a storm and shot into the distance. By flapping the devil's wings, Lucifer moved very fast and turned into a black dot and disappeared in the blink of an eye. Admiralty Headquarters, Marine Ford, Marshal's office. Marshal Waring State's wore frog glasses and was handling official business. The goat at his feet ate the discarded documents he disposed of without any disdain. Click, click, click. Suddenly, a harsh chewing sound rang in his ears, which made Waring State's frown, and the character, well, appeared on his forehead. Hey, Cap, don't eat donuts in my office. How many times have I told you? Why can't you remember? Sengoku slapped the table and roared towards the sofa, spittle flying everywhere. On the sofa, Vice Admiral Garp was holding a bag of donuts and eating happily, turning a deaf ear to Sengoku's roar. Ha 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 ha, don't be angry, Waring States, calm down. I am challenging the latest donut record, and will set a new record soon. After saying that, Garp grabbed a few more donuts and stuffed them into his mouth. The harsh crunching sound sounded again. Sengoku couldn't bear it anymore, rushed to Garp, grabbed the donuts, and poured them all down into one's mouth. Ah, those are my donuts. Garp had no time to stop him and tried to snatch the donuts back, but all the donuts had already entered Sengoku's stomach. Then, Sengoku and Garp fought together. Who would have thought that these two people would be naval marshals and naval heroes? The naval staff officer next to him, Lieutenant General He, just glanced at the two of them and did not say anything to stop them. The three of them have been comrades in arms for decades. Sengoku and Garp have been fighting and arguing every day. Lieutenant General He has long been used to it. At this moment, rapid footsteps sounded at the door, and then the office door was pushed open. Your Excellency, Marshal, something serious has happened. A naval colonel burst into the office, sweating profusely, shouting in a panic. What happened? How could you be so flustered? Marshal Sengoku, separated from Garp, walked back to his desk and sat down. Reporting to Your Excellency, Marshal, just now, the naval fleet led by Vice Admiral Doberman lost contact with the headquarters. At the same time, Lieutenant General Doberman's life card burned to ashes, which confirmed that Lieutenant General Doberman had died in the line of duty. What did you say? Marshal Waring State's face changed drastically, and he stood up suddenly, showing a look of shock and anger. Lieutenant General He and Garp also had serious faces, and there was no longer a relaxed atmosphere in the office. Are you sure? Doberman's life card is really over. It's not that Marshal Waring States doesn't believe it, but that he doesn't want to believe it. After all, Lieutenant General Doberman is very powerful, and this operation is in the first half of the Grand Line. Who can kill him? Being stared at by three legendary Marines, the colonel was very nervous and had some slurred speech, but he still gritted his teeth and nodded. The news is correct. We have confirmed it again and again. At the same time, we also tried to contact Vice Admiral Doberman's fleet, but we have been out of contact and there has been no reply. Damn it! Who dares to do such a thing? Could it be those bastards from the New World? Waring States gritted his teeth, and his whole body was covered with murderous intent. Check. Send people to Filu Island immediately. I want to know all the information about this operation. The Waring States period issued an order. Every elite vice admiral of the Navy headquarters is the backbone of the Navy. Losing one of them is a huge loss. If something like this happens, the Navy headquarters cannot remain indifferent. Soon, a fleet of the Navy, so we set off and rushed to Filu Island as quickly as possible. On the endless sea, the waves sparkle like countless shining pearls. A pirate ship sailed slowly through the sea, leaving a pearl foam channel behind it. Captain Charlotte, I heard that Captain John's treasure has appeared. Do we want to get a hold of it? Captain John was one of the great pirates of the olden times. How many Baileys should his treasure have? If you can get it, you won't be able to spend it all in your lifetime. Yes, Captain, such a good opportunity cannot be missed. On the pirate ship, a group of pirates were having a heated discussion. Everyone was focusing on their captain. Although they coveted the treasure, whether they wanted to fight for it still depends on the captain's decision. Quack, quack, of course you have to go, you idiots. A strong man with a brown beard laughed loudly. His laughter was a bit like a duck quacking. Captain John's treasure must belong to our brownbeard pirates. Ga. Call out. Suddenly a long sword came through the air, leaving a cold light that flashed away. The pirate captain's laughter suddenly stopped, and then his head shot up into the sky, splattering blood all over the surrounding pirates. Ah! What happened? Captain, the captain was killed. The pirates on the ship were shocked. They looked at the captain's headless body and trembled with fear. This scene happened so suddenly that no one could react. After they came to their senses, they found that their captain had been killed. Cut off the head. Where is the murderer? Find him and avenge the captain. Come out quickly. I'm not afraid of you. Damn bastard. Come out if you have the guts. Face-to-face duel. Dozens of pirates gathered together back to back, screaming and shouting in all directions. But the louder their shouts were, it only proved that they were more frightened. Captain John's treasure? It made me a little bit interested. Suddenly, a cold voice sounded. Everyone looked up and saw a handsome young man standing on the mast looking down at them. Two huge demon wings were slowly retracting. The person who came was clearly Lucifer. After leaving Fai after the road to the island, Lucifer flew for more than 2 hours before finally finding the pirate ship as a landing place. It was really not easy to find a ship in the vast sea. By chance, Lucifer heard them when he landed. The topic we are talking about. Lucifer has also heard of the name Captain John. He was once a member of the Rocks Pirates and a famous pirate in the old times. Legend has it that after the collapse of the Rocks Pirates, Captain John took away the treasure plundered by the Rocks Pirates and wanted to take it all for himself. However, in the process of taking the treasure for himself, he was killed by his own subordinates. Lucifer still vaguely remembered that the body of Captain John after his death was found by Mariah, the zombie general who was found, resurrected and turned into him, should now be in Thriller Bark. Since Captain John's death, his treasure has been missing and remains unknown to this day. Over the years, there have been reports of Captain John's treasure appearing on the sea. News, but it turned out to be a lie. What kind of monster is this? Devil. This man is a devil. Dozens of pirates turned pale with fright when they saw Lucifer retracting his demon wings, because his image was exactly the same as the legendary Hell Demon. Hello, where is Captain John's treasure? Lucifer asked coldly. Yes, on Crescent Island. A pirate couldn't help but tell the answer. Yeah? Thank you very much. Lucifer smiled slightly, then waved his hand gently. Blade storm. Boom, 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 boom. Dozens of flying swords and long knives shot out of the air, hitting dozens of pirates on the ship. While piercing their chests and heads, the powerful impact took them into the sea. In the blink of an eye, they fell into the sea. After a while, the pirates on the boat were cleared, leaving only Lucifer. Ding. The host killed the pirate soldiers and obtained 300 killing points. Ding. The host killed the pirate soldiers and obtained 700 killing points. After killing dozens of pirates, there were only 2 system prompts, including the pirate captain who was the first to die in Lucifer's hands. This pirate group only had 3 targets in total. 3 pirates provided a total of 4,000 kill points for Lucifer. Is this too cheap? Trash fish is trash fish. Just like that, do you also want to fight for Captain John's treasure? Lucifer's mouth twitched and he jumped from the mast to the deck. Then, the pirate ship changed its direction and headed towards the direction of Crescent Island. System. Open the Properties panel. Attribute panel. Host. Lucifer. Age. 23. Devil fruit. Word spirit fruit. Physique. Hell demon. Armed color hockey. Advanced. Wisdom color hockey. Intermediate. Overlord color hockey. Intermediate. Killing points. 164000. Lucifer now has a big wallet. He has enough 164,000 killing points. Opening the system store, Lucifer found the location of the 3-color domineering. System. Purchase high-level knowledge color hacky and high-level overlord color hacky. Ding. If you purchase the high-level knowledge color hockey and high-level overlord color hockey successfully, 100,000 killing points will be deducted, leaving 64,000 killing points. At the same time as the electronic sound sounded, a burst of energy appeared in Lucifer's body out of thin air. In an instant, Lucifer's knowledge color and overlord color were raised to a high level at the same time. Boom! A powerful aura erupted from Lucifer, creating a violent wind. The seawater in front was hit by the strong wind, causing waves. Several seagulls fell from the sky to the deck, foaming at the mouth and already unconscious. This is the high-level overlord color and domineering energy, and it is truly extraordinary. The overlord color hockey is very special among the 3 colors of hockey. It is the qualification of a king. Only the selected people can awaken this power. Only one person in a million can awaken the overlord color. It sounds very noble, but on the surface, overlord-colored hockey can only be used to clean up miscellaneous soldiers and has no effect on the strong. It seems to be useless, but in fact, it is not the case. Overlord-colored hockey can also be used to entangle and attack, just like armed color hockey. It's just that there are very few people who have learned this skill, so there are very few people who know how to use it. The entanglement attack of overlord hockey is more terrifying than the entanglement attack of armed hockey. The kings of the old era and the emperors of the sea in the new world now all know this technique, so they are so terrifying. Lucifer searched in the system store and quickly found the overlord color domineering winding technique. At the same time, there are also tips for using armed color domineering. Armed color domineering external release, 100,000 kill points. Armed color domineering internal destruction, 100,000 kills. Points. Overlord color entanglement attack, 100,000 kill points. Each of the 3 techniques requires 100,000 kill points, which is very expensive. Attribute panel. Host, Lucifer. Age, 23. Devil fruit. Word spirit fruit. Physique, hell demon. Armed color hockey, advanced. Insight color hockey, advanced. Overlord color hockey, advanced. Killing points, 64,000. Looking at the remaining 64,000 killing points, Lucifer shook his head helplessly. He couldn't afford any of these 3 techniques. The killing points are still lacking and more targets must be hunted. Lucifer closed the system interface and controlled the pirate ship to accelerate towards Crescent Island. The next trip to Crescent Island was his best opportunity. Lucifer was not interested in Captain John's treasure. He was only interested in those who had the strength. Pray. After the news of Captain John's treasure spreads this time, it will definitely attract many powerful pirates. Not only pirates, but also some powerful bounty hunters and gangsters will go. Even the Navy will take advantage of this. Take the opportunity to destroy the pirates. By then, Crescent Island will become a veritable hunting ground, and Lucifer can hunt targets and harvest killing points. As the sun sets, a red sun slowly sets on the sea level. Sunset, the remaining light shone on the pirate ship, shrouding Lucifer in the afterglow of the sunset. When the sunset completely disappeared on the sea level, Lucifer's pirate ship also disappeared on the sea level. A few days later, Marine Headquarters, Marine Ford. In the general's office, General Kizaru leaned on his chair and cut his nails leisurely. The adjutant next to him made a cup of hot tea for Kizaru and respectfully served it to Kizaru. General Kizaru, please have some tea. Oh, thank you very much. Kizaru picked up the teacup and blew the hot air away, then took a sip. The aroma of tea escaped from his mouth, causing Kizaru to narrow his eyes involuntarily. Days like this are really leisurely. It seems that today is another peaceful day, and I can leave work in 3 hours. Kizaru is very comfortable. He leans back on the chair and puts his feet on the desk, posing like a salty fish. As the most salty general among the 3 generals, it is Kizaru's life rule to clock in to work every day and leave work on time. Absolutely not working overtime was his creed in life. The adjutant next to him had an expressionless face. He had long been accustomed to General Kizaru's salty attitude. However, at this moment, there was an urgent knock on the door. Come in. Kizaru was still drinking tea leisurely, and the person who spoke was his adjutant. A naval colonel walked into the office, came to Kizaru's desk, and saluted respectfully. General Kizaru, the Warring States Marshal urgently summoned the generals to go there. There was an important meeting to be held. Kizaru's face changed, showing a trace of lewd expression. This is really troublesome. I have to work overtime again today. Mr. Zhanghua is really good at tormenting people. He asked me to work overtime, but why should he give me an increase in overtime pay? Kizaru is still slumped in the chair, not wanting to move like a salted fish. Drinking tea and fishing is his pursuit. As a famous salted fish general, what Kizaru hates most is working overtime. General Kizaru, the marshal is still waiting for you. Please hurry up. The adjutant next to me said loudly. Hey, that's serious, Ranjit. Kizaru put down his teacup, reluctantly stood up from his chair, and slowly walked out of the office. As he walked, he asked the naval colonel, Do you know what the theme of this meeting is? It's about the death of Lieutenant General Doberman. The Navy has found the murderer. The naval colonel replied loudly, with a hint of anger in his tone. In the past few days, the news of Vice Admiral Doberman's death in the line of duty has spread in the Navy headquarters, making countless naval soldiers furious. They all want to find the murderer and save Dauber. Lieutenant General Man takes revenge. Oh, is it about Doberman? When mentioning the fallen comrades, Kizaru's face became less vulgar and more serious. Although he was a salty general, he also had the position of being a naval admiral. Of course, the most angry one is Doberman's direct general, Akainu. When the news of Doberman's death came back, Akainu almost came back from the New World. In the end, it was warring states who came forward to suppress him. Soon, Kizaru came to the conference room. The conference room was already filled with senior Navy officials. When they saw Kizaru coming in, several people looked strangely at them, especially Marshal Warring States and Great Staff Lieutenant General He. Oh, I'm late. I'm really sorry. Kizaru smiled obscenely, walked to his seat, and sat down. Okay, everyone is here, and the meeting officially begins. Marshal Warring States looked around at everyone and threw a pile of information on the conference table. At the same time, the adjutant behind him turned on the projection screen, and a photo of a young man appeared on the screen. I called you here this time because of the death of Lieutenant General Doberman. The Intelligence Department has found out that this person was the murderer of Lieutenant General Doberman. Many senior naval officials in the conference room looked at the projection screen. Several people also picked up the information to check. This person's name is Lucifer. He is 23 years old and was born in the first half of the Grant Line. We have investigated his life and found it to be unremarkable, just an ordinary person. But not long ago, he suddenly emerged as a new force and suddenly possessed extremely powerful strength. We guessed that he must have gained the power of a devil fruit. Only devil fruit can make an ordinary person become stronger quickly. This is not difficult to guess. What are his abilities? A vice admiral asked. What fruit can make him so strong? In less than half a month, it was possible to defeat Lieutenant General Doberman and kill thousands of naval soldiers? Everyone here is well aware of the power of devil fruit. Although it is scary, it is not so exaggerated. They are all high-ranking members of the Navy. They have experienced hundreds of battles and have dealt with over 100 ability users. They are confident that they will meet any ability user, be able to face it calmly. I have never heard of any fruit that can make an ordinary person suddenly become so strong. Devil fruits need to be developed. Even the natural type that can make people become stronger quickly cannot make an ordinary person. A person surpasses the vice admiral overnight. You must know that Doberman is an elite vice admiral of the Navy headquarters and is proficient in two-color hockey. Even if he encounters a person with natural abilities, he will not be easily defeated, let alone killed. That's the focus of today's meeting. Marshal Warring States waved his hand, and the adjutant immediately replaced it with a new photo. When the new photo appeared, a series of exclamations suddenly sounded in the conference room. How can this be? Am I dazzled? Are you kidding me? Many senior Navy officers looked at the photos on the screen, and they were all dumbfounded and in disbelief. Even General Ching Pheasant's pupils widened. Hey, this is a big joke? Kizaru finally understood why Sengoku and Lieutenant General He looked at him so strangely when he entered the conference room. Well, this is really terrible. Kizaru showed a wretched look, but a trace of shock flashed deep in his eyes. What appeared in front of everyone's eyes was a photo of Lucifer using the power of flash. Countless flying swords poured down, shooting at 3 people in the sea. A warship. This scene is familiar to the senior Navy officers present, and they are also familiar with this move. Because it is 9 points similar to General Kizaru's special move, the 8-foot Magatama. It can be said that except for the shape of the light, everything else is the same. Are you kidding me? There is only one sparkling fruit. There was no way anyone could still use the power of flash. Many senior Navy officers looked at Kizaru at the same time, with doubts on their faces. If they hadn't accurately seen Lucifer's face, they would have suspected that the murderer was Kizaru himself. Everyone, don't look at me with such dangerous eyes. I have nothing to do with this person. Kizaru raised the corners of his mouth and said with a lewd expression. At this time, the Warring States Marshal spoke. The Navy has confirmed that Lucifer is using the power of flash, which is almost as powerful as Kizaru. However, this is not the only power Lucifer can use. Then, the photos on the screen changed again. 3 photos appeared. The above pictures were of Lucifer using flying swords, blade storms, and wind blades to kill everyone. Just by looking at the photos, you can tell that the power of each move is scary. There is a legend in the Grand Line that newspaper reporters are the strongest spies. Even the CP organization cannot compare with them. No matter how secretive the photos are, they can take them. At present, we are still unable to determine what kind of fruit ability Lucifer is. It should be a new fruit, but through these photos, we can see that Lucifer can use a lot of power. He can control metal, wind, and light. These are very powerful abilities, but they are concentrated in one person at this moment. I have to say, he is a very powerful threat. If it is not eradicated as soon as possible, it will definitely become a serious problem for the Navy in the future. After Warring States finished speaking, there was a dead silence in the conference room. Many senior naval officials looked serious, and a dangerous, murderous aura filled the conference room. Although the information currently available is not comprehensive, the danger of Lucifer has been revealed. Many senior naval officials, the opinions unanimously reached an agreement that Lucifer must be eradicated as soon as possible. Send out troops, we must eradicate Lucifer. The Eagle Lieutenant General Ghost Spider roared. The Navy will never allow such a dangerous person to survive in this world. I'm willing to lead the team. Carry out this mission. I do too. Please count me in. Not only the hawkish vice admirals, but also the dove vice admirals have asked for war. Doberman learned from the past. Just sending out a few lieutenant generals cannot ensure that Lucifer can be taken down. Lieutenant General, his plain voice sounded. Don't forget, Lucifer also has the ability to fly, and his ability to escape is also first-rate. As soon as these words came out, everyone looked at the photo on the screen at the same time. Sure enough, they saw 2 devil wings on Lucifer's back. Because the flashing flying sword was too conspicuous, they all ignored this. And look, after taking the photo, everyone's eyes turned to General Kizaru. The lieutenant general was not sure that he could take down Lucifer, who could fly. The only one in the Navy who had this ability was General Kizaru. Flash must be used to defeat Flash. By everyone staring, Kizaru had to put away the obscene expression on his face. It seems that I must go for a trip. Well, I leave it to you, Kizaru. Marshal Warring States also issued an order at this time. The time for dispatching troops is set for tomorrow. Please prepare. Okay, I understand. Kizaru nodded, but in fact he was very troubled because it meant that his vacation would be ruined again. And judging from Sengoku's intentions, he worked overtime this time, and Sengoku did not intend to pay overtime. Alas, my job is really hard. I really envy some people who can sleep in every day without having to work overtime. Kizaru looked at Aoji, who was sitting next to him. When Sengoku called Kizaru's name, Aozu had already put on a blindfold and fell asleep, because he knew that he would have nothing to do with him later. The pursuit mission is led by Kizaru. Crane, you are responsible for issuing Lucifer's bounty order. At the end of the meeting, Warring States issued the final order. I see. Lieutenant General, he nodded. On the endless sea, the sea breeze was blowing, and a pirate ship sailed quietly on the sea. Lucifer was lying on the bow of the boat, bathing in the sun, holding a glass of red wine in his hand, listening to music, and living a very leisurely life. Well, the Cantu red wine produced in 1452 is really good, with a long aftertaste. Lucifer took a sip of red wine and nodded secretly. This is the trophy he got from killing the pirates, a bottle of expired red wine that is more than 50 years old. A week has passed since he killed Lieutenant General Doberman. During this week, Lucifer has on the way to Crescent Island. In 2 days' journey, Lucifer will be able to reach Crescent Island. Cuckoo, cuckoo. At this moment, a group of news birds flew over Lucifer's head. When Lucifer noticed the news birds also noticed the pirate ship on the sea. One of the news birds fell from the sky and landed on Lucifer beside. "You are so brave." Lucifer raised his eyebrows and smiled, flicked his finger, and shot out a coin, which just hit the money jar on the chest of Newsbird. Then, Newsbird took out a newspaper and gave it to Lucifer. Lucifer took the newspaper, opened it, and took a look. I saw the reward notice tucked in the newspaper. After waiting for several days, it finally came out. The reward notice is clearly Lucifer himself, and the photo is of himself using the 8-foot Magatama. In the photo, Lucifer spreads his devil wings, summons endless flashing flying swords, and floats in the sky. The posture should be as handsome as possible. How domineering do you want to be? I have to say, these reporters' photography skills are really good. The photo of him looks so handsome, Lucifer is too embarrassed to hold him accountable for secretly filming him. It's just that the bounty is a bit low. Lucifer looked at the reward amount on the reward order and was a little dissatisfied. The devil Lucifer, with a bounty of 230 million Baileys, committed a heinous crime, regardless of life or death. He killed an elite lieutenant general from the Navy headquarters, plus thousands of Navy soldiers, and the bounty was only 230 million. No need to guess. Lucifer knew that the Navy headquarters must have suppressed Lucifer's bounty amount. In the Grant Line, the Sea of Thieves' first bounty often represents his potential. The higher the amount, the greater the potential. But if the bounty is set too high, it will appear that the Navy headquarters is incompetent and has no face. According to Lucifer this time, according to the record, the bounty set by the Navy headquarters must exceed at least 500 million. But that is impossible. Since the founding of the Navy, there has never been a pirate with a bounty of more than 500 million for the first time. What Lucifer didn't know was that 230 million, the bounty of 10,000 yuan, was also the result of many discussions at the Navy headquarters. Some naval staff initially set the bounty at 100 million belly, but it was finally raised to 230 million belly by Lieutenant General He. Lucifer is too dangerous, and the bounty, if the setting is too low, it is likely to arouse the contempt of the branch Navy. If casualties are caused by then, it will be too late to regret. Forget it, just keep it as low as possible. It won't be long before this amount will rise. Lucifer casually threw the bounty order into the sea. He has no hobby of collecting his own bounty order, and the ship he is currently on is not his own. Now that I have become a pirate, it is time to form my own pirate group. First, find a few capable crew members. Lucifer has several targets in his mind. These are the crew members he is looking for next. In the New World, on the Wangyang Sea, a huge killer whale pirate ship is riding the wind and waves. On the huge mast, a pirate flag fluttered in the wind. The symbol on the pirate flag has frightened countless pirates around the world, and no force dares to challenge this flag. Even in a new world filled with powerful people, the deterrent power of this flag ranks first. Just because this is the flag of the Whitebeard pirates, and behind this flag is Whitebeard, the strongest man in the world. In the old days, Whitebeard was as strong as Roger, the Pirate King. In the era of great pirates, Whitebeard was the first person to ascend the throne of the Emperor. After 2 eras, Whitebeard's reputation has long become a legend. On the Moby Dick, Marco jumped from the mast with a newspaper and came to Whitebeard. Dad, something big happened in the paradise. Recently, an incredible guy appeared, and his first bounty reached 230 million. As he said that, Marco handed a reward order to Whitebeard. Stop making such a fuss, Marco. Whitebeard took the reward order, took a look at it, and laughed boldly. Goo la 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 la, today's young people are really anxious. A young boy dares to wander around in the sea. In Whitebeard's eyes, Lucifer is really just a young boy. Whitebeard has seen many outstanding newcomers like Lucifer. Hey, Marco, who is that guy? Makes you so interested. Yeah, let's see too. Tisk, what's so good about him? He's just a kid who just debuted. How strong can he be? We are the Whitebeard Pirates. A group of pirates were sitting on the deck having a banquet. Some were very interested in the person Marco was talking about, but some were disdainful, just because they were members of the Whitebeard Pirates. Since joining this pirate group, only then do they know what it means to be invincible. As long as they have a Whitebeard tattoo on their body, no one dares to provoke them wherever they go. Over the years, many pirates have developed the habit of looking higher than their heads. Marco stared at a pair of with dead fish eyes. He said calmly, "He is a newcomer named Lucifer. He is not weak in strength, especially his fruit ability, which is very strong." Marco bought a lot of newspapers, so he got a lot of bounty orders. After several interested pirates took the bounty orders and read them, they all looked shocked. Hey, this is not... Ah, yes, it's General Kazara's ability. He can actually use Kazara's abilities. Is Kazara dead? Impossible? That's a Navy admiral. If Kazara had died, the Navy headquarters would have been overturned. Many pirates recognized at a glance that Lucifer used the power of light. And in this sea, only Admiral Kazarov can use this power. Admiral Kazara's ability has also made countless pirates frightened. Even if they, the Whitebeard Pirates, are also extremely afraid. Lucifer can use this power. No matter what his status is now, as long as he does not die prematurely, he will definitely become a world-famous strongman in the future. Now, these people have eyes higher than the top. The pirates don't dare to underestimate Lucifer anymore. Kazara was not dead, but a second person with the ability to use flash appeared. This guy's luck is really good. Yes, if I get this fruit, this kid is really lucky. Most of the members of the Whitebeard Pirates are very jealous of Lucifer. On the sea, powerful devil fruits are often pursued by countless people, and many people will risk their lives for a powerful fruit. What's more, it is not surprising to kill companions and even captains. A newcomer like Lucifer has gained such a powerful ability, which naturally makes these old pirates who have been in the New World for more than 10 years extremely envious. Gulala, the sea is very vast. It's not uncommon for similar abilities to appear. There's nothing to envy. If you want good abilities, go find them yourself. There are so many powerful devil fruits. Whitebeard's laughter sounded, echoing in the ears of every pirate. Dad is right. We are the Whitebeard Pirates. We can find whatever fruits we want. With Dad here, even without the devil fruit, we are still the strongest pirate group in the world. Ha 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 ha. Don't worry about that, brat. Let's have a party. Let's have a party. A group of pirates threw the bounty order over and continued with the banquet. Soon, the whole ship returned to its usual laughter and laughter. Only Blackbeard, who was sitting in the corner, looked at the bounty order in his hand, with a trace of greed in his eyes. But soon, this greed was well hidden by him, and his expression returned to the harmlessness of the past. After hiding for more than 10 years, Blackbeard's acting skills have long been perfected, reaching the level of fighting. Oh no, the realm of Movie King. Flash power, while nice, is not the fruit I want. The dark fruit is the strongest. My choice will not be wrong. As long as I get the dark fruit, my ambition can be realized. When the time comes, the Whitebeard Pirates won't be able to restrain me, nor will my father. Whitebeard glanced at Whitebeard's back, and then lowered his head instantly. He didn't dare to show any malice for fear that Whitebeard would sense it. Dark fruit, where are you? Blackbeard has been looking for the dark fruit since he went to sea. But more than 10 years have passed, and the dark fruit still has not appeared. Seeing new strong men constantly appearing on the sea, Blackbeard also felt a little anxious. If he had to wait any longer, if he goes down, he really has no chance. After all, it's not just Whitebeard who will grow old. He will also grow old. The New World, the country of Wano. This is Kaido's territory, the headquarters of the Beast Pirates, and a place in the New World where no one dares to trespass. Lord Kaido, a very interesting newcomer, appeared in the first half of the Grand Line. He was offered a bounty of 230 million Baileys for the first time. I heard that his fruit power is very strong, the same as that of General Kizaru. A pirate sent a bounty order in front of Kaido. Kaido drank heavily with a wine gourd, and at the same time glanced at the bounty order from the corner of his eyes and smiled disdainfully. He's just a brat. What's there to care about? Even if you have the same ability as that yellow monkey, what's the use? No one can kill me anyway. If he is an animal type, I can still accept him as a subordinate. 100 Beasts Kaido is determined to form the strongest animal pirate group and is only interested in those with animal abilities. Although Lucifer is outstanding, Kaido looks down on him. Hey, Jin, haven't you found enough animal-type ability users yet? Kaido put down the wine gourd, looked at Yin Calamity Jean next to him, and asked in a low voice, I don't have enough subordinates. If this continues, when will I launch a war that will destroy the world? Sorry, Governor Kaido. There are already few ability users, so it will take more time to form an army of animal-type ability users. Yin Liangjin is also helpless. There are only a few people with abilities, and even fewer of them are of the animal type. What's more, forming an army of animal-type people with abilities. It's simply whimsical. Of course, Jean will not say this idea out loud. That will only anger Kaido and get him a beating in vain. It would be great if animal devil fruits could be made by humans. Then I would be able to continuously create people with animal abilities. Kaido suddenly had a whim. How can it be? Yin Liangjin only thought that this was another whim of his captain. But what Yin Liangjin didn't know was that this idea actually came true a few years later. On the other side, on a small island in the New World, the red-haired pirates are stationed here. Ha 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 ha, that's amazing. This newcomer's first bounty was actually 230 million belly. The first time I was offered a bounty, it was only 20 million. Stop comparing yourself with others. The more you compare, the less confident you will be. Nanny? What nonsense are you talking about? I am now a big pirate with a bounty of 480 million. The bounty is much higher than this brat. Woohoo, 480 million. It's amazing. I'm so scared. I was offered a reward of 550 million. Did I say anything? The members of the red-haired pirate group gathered together for a banquet, and the atmosphere was very lively. Although this group of pirates seemed heartless, they all had extraordinary strength. The pirates with a bounty of over 100 million were caught one by one big bounty. There are many with more than 500 million. And their captain, red-haired Shanks, is a super pirate with a bounty of more than 3 billion, and is the quasi-Yonko of the New World. In the original work, the Navy mentioned it at a meeting in 1522, however. The red-haired Shanks had been the Yonko for 6 years at that time. In other words, the red-haired one became the 4 emperors in 1516. The current time period has just begun in 1516, which means that the red-haired one is working for the current emperor. Fighting with the 4 emperors, we are still one step away from becoming the real 4 emperors. The newcomers now are really amazing. Red-haired Shanks sat on a rock, looked at the reward order in his hand, and showed a smile. What? Who does he remind you of? Vice Captain Beckman put a glass of wine next to the red hair and asked while blowing smoke rings. Ah, I did think of someone, but it's too early for him. He has to wait a few more years. I'm just lamenting this era. Shanks finished a glass of wine and let out a long sigh. Another young man who inherited Captain Rogers will went to sea. Sooner or later, this seed will grow into a towering tree. Shanks inherited the will of Roger, the Pirate King. In his eyes, these outstanding newcomers who go to sea are all extensions of Roger's will. Kids, it's time to have a party. The red hair stood up and shouted. Captain, didn't you say you don't feel well? Yes, Captain. The doctor said you can't drink. Idiot. How can you not drink as a pirate? Shanks laughed and scolded. And after the banquet, we still have a big battle with the Henry pirates. How can you have the strength to fight if you don't eat and drink enough? The current red-haired pirates have not yet become the 4 emperors. The 3 emperors are standing in the New World, and countless powerful pirates are fighting for the last emperor's throne. The red-haired pirates led by Shanks are fighting with several powerful pirate groups. Territory. Only the final winner can ascend the throne and compete with Whitebeard. Big Mom Kaido of all beasts is on an equal footing. As Lucifer's bounty order spread, Lucifer's name also began to spread around the world. Many big figures and forces have noticed Lucifer's existence, and they also know about his record of killing the Vice Admiral of the Navy headquarters. Young, powerful, outstandingly qualified, and decisive in killing, Lucifer's various qualities have made many big shots optimistic about Lucifer's future. As long as he doesn't die halfway, he will definitely become a big trouble for the Navy in the future. This is the common view of many big pirates. Lucifer has become famous all over the world. The first half of the Great Line, on the endless sea. Lucifer stood on the bow of a pirate ship, looking at an island in the sea ahead, and showed a smile. Finally reached. The small island in front is Crescent Island, which is also Lucifer's goal this time. There are so many people here, so there is so much fun to do now. Lucifer glanced at the surrounding sea area. There were pirate ships everywhere. There were new pirate groups coming in a steady stream from the sea area behind. Boom, boom, boom. Along with a burst of artillery bombardment, a pirate ship was the explosion sank, and the ship was destroyed and everyone died. The victor stood on the ship and laughed arrogantly, and the laughter was extremely harsh. Before they even landed on the island, the pirates were already fighting each other. Some were bombarded by long-range artillery fire, and some were bombarded by close-range artillery fire. Each one of them has different fighting methods. A pirate group that is not strong enough cannot even land on Crescent Moon Island. Hey, kid, are you the only one on this ship? Suddenly, a burst of ridicule sounded from behind, followed by a pirate ship. This pirate ship was twice the size at Lucifer's feet. The ship was full of ferocious pirates, with hundreds of people in total. Is this really bad? There is only one imp. Quack, quack, are all his companions dead? It's really pitiful. Hey, Sally, why don't you give him a ride? Let him go and join his companions. Ha 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 ha, that's a good idea. No, this guy was quite handsome. It would be a pity to die. Hey, Bana, are you a nymphomaniac again? A group of pirates stood on the deck, staring at Lucifer as if looking at a prey. The male pirates looked fierce, but a few female pirates stared at Lucifer like a nymphomaniac. If the female pirates were beautiful, Lucifer doesn't mind being merciful and just comes out for a chance. But it's a pity that these female pirates are all ugly, with waists and fat all over their bodies. Lucifer took one look and almost vomited out his overnight meal. Hey, kid, if you kneel down and beg for mercy, we might be able to spare your life. Come on, beg for mercy? Ha 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 ha. The pirate ship is getting closer and closer, and the jeers are getting more and more harsh. It's really noisy. Lucifer looked expressionless and raised his hand slightly. Flash ray. A laser shot out from Lucifer's fingertips and instantly penetrated the pirate ship behind. With a loud bang, the entire pirate ship was blown into a ball of fire. Hundreds of pirates looked frightened, and before they could even scream, it has been swallowed up by the sea of fire, and no bones remain. Ding. The host killed the pirate Bartley and obtained 6,500 killing points. Ding. The host kills the pirate Bana and gets 2,500 killing points. Ding. The host killed the pirate Sally and obtained 1,700 killing points. Ding. The host killed the pirate soldiers and obtained 400 killing points. A series of system prompts sounded, and this pirate group provided Lucifer with 16,000 killing points. Including what Lucifer originally had, Lucifer's total killing points came to 80,000. What a sad bunch of fish. Lucifer shook his head and drove the pirate ship to speed up to Crescent Island. The battle taking place here was clearly seen by several surrounding pirate groups. Hey, what kind of ability was that just now? Isn't it terrible? With just one blow, he actually destroyed the Bartley pirates. This ability is somewhat familiar. I seem to have heard of it somewhere. Flash ray. Isn't this the ability of General Kizaru? Some pirates suddenly looked horrified when they thought of Kizaru. Isn't it the Navy Admiral who is here? Impossible. That person is just a young kid, not Kizaru at all, and there is no trace of the Navy in the surrounding waters. I remembered. He is Lucifer, a newcomer who has been in the limelight recently? A pirate suddenly shouted. I heard that his abilities are the same as those of Admiral Kizaru. He is very powerful and at the monster level. More and more pirates recognized Lucifer's identity, and they also found Lucifer's reward order. The devil Lucifer, with a reward of 230 million Baileys, committed a heinous crime, regardless of life or death. The people in the photo and the people they saw looked exactly the same. We encountered this kind of monster as soon as we arrived. It seems that it will be difficult to fight for Captain John's treasure this time. A pirate captain shook his head and sighed. No matter what kind of monster he is, as long as he dares to snatch the treasure from me, I will kill him. A pirate captain is murderous. The treasure must belong to me. Although they are afraid of Lucifer's strength, no pirate group escapes. As long as they think of the huge treasure left by Captain John, these pirates are fearless. The wealth is so touching that these pirates have their eyes covered by the treasure. For money, they can do anything. Soon, Lucifer's ship arrived at the port. After landing, Lucifer went straight to the town in the center of Crescent Island. The domineering aura spread out, almost covering the entire town. Some secretly spying on Lucifer, with malicious glances, were all perceived by Lucifer. Their breaths were all locked one by Lucifer. This is good, comparable to a rear admiral. This is okay too. There are so many prey. It is indeed the best hunting ground. Lucifer appeared on the roof of a tall building, looking at the town below, with an evil smile on his lips. 99% of the powerful people in the town are remembered by Lucifer. Just wait until the time comes to start the hunting feast. Don't rush, wait a little longer, someone else will come later. Lucifer looked at the pirate ships arriving on the sea in the distance, and temporarily suppressed the murderous intention in his heart. If he takes action now, although he can harvest a number of killing points, subsequent pirates may not dare to come because of fear. It is safest to wait until the pirates with names are almost here, and then catch them all. Only then can the harvest be the greatest. A few days later, late at night, the small town on Crescent Island was still ablaze and bustling with people. Countless pirates surrounded the town. They made trouble, fought, and robbed, causing the indigenous people in the town to complain. But these residents did not dare to resist these pirates. They fled the town and hid on the remote coastline behind the island. Some residents risked their lives by going directly to sea and leaving the island. In just a few days, the town was occupied by pirates. This is the cruelty of this world. Lucifer was sitting in the corner of a tavern, looking at the pirates who were noisy and fighting around him, shaking his head slightly. It has been almost 2 months since he came to this world, and he has seen similar scenes countless times. At first, Lucifer had the idea of holding the strong and supporting the weak, but later, he gave up. This is the normal state of the One Piece world, and he alone cannot change it. The jungle is the law of the jungle. Since it exists, it naturally has its meaning. Lucifer doesn't have the heart of the Holy Mother, so he can't save so many people. After all, in the eyes of the world, Lucifer is now also a very vicious pirate with numerous crimes. Boom. There was a gunshot. A pirate was shot in the head, and his body fell in a pool of blood. Immediately, the two parties fought together. A fight broke out in the tavern, and the surrounding pirates shook their fists and shouted, cheering and cheering. After one party wins, stronger pirates join the battle and defeat the victorious party. At this time, Captain John's treasure had not yet been discovered. These pirates hunt for treasure during the day and kill each other at night to eliminate their rivals. Suddenly, a group of more than 20 people, led by a tall man, arrived at Lucifer's table. Your Excellency is Lucifer. I've known him for a long time. I'm Wade, the captain of the Hacksaw Pirates. What's up? Lucifer raised his brows. With his bland gesture and perfunctory attitude, Lucifer's disdain was clearly expressed, which immediately made the pirates behind Wade furious. They were about to have an attack, but were suppressed by Wade. The corners of Wade's mouth twitched. After a moment, he smiled dryly and said, There are a lot of pirates on the island now. I know that you are very powerful, so I want to cooperate with you. When Captain John's treasure is found, we will split it 50-50. There are pirates who kill each other, And of course, there are those who cooperate with each other. When several pirate groups cooperate, they are more likely to successfully seize the treasure. This hacksaw pirate group obviously takes a fancy to Lucifer's strength. However, they found the wrong person. Lucifer smiled. Want to cooperate with me? Do you have this qualification? What did you say? Do you dare to say that again, you bastard? Before Wade could speak, the two pirates behind him could no longer bear it. Bastard, our captain invites you because he thinks highly of you. You do not want. Boom. Before he finished speaking, the two roaring pirates suddenly exploded, and their flesh and blood flew in all directions, splashing all over the pirates next to them. Even Wade's face was covered in flesh and blood. Many pirates who had been paying attention here took a breath when they saw this scene. They all know that Lucifer is very strong and can use the same abilities as General Kizaru. But I didn't expect him to be so scary. No one could see clearly how Lucifer took action just now. The two pirates seemed to have exploded on their own. It's because I can't see that I'm afraid. The captain is talking. Don't interrupt casually. Lucifer moved his finger and aimed it at Wade's eyebrows. Wade froze in place, not daring to move and sweating all over his body. Looking at that slender finger, Wade seemed to see the most deadly murder weapon. During the day, he saw with his own eyes that Lucifer defeated a pirate group with one finger. Sorry, it was my subordinate who was rude. Please show mercy, we will leave now. I originally thought that holding Lucifer's thigh would give me a chance to get the treasure, but Wade didn't expect that Lucifer would be so moody and would kill people if they disagreed. Now that the cooperation has not been achieved, he himself is in danger of death. Lucifer smiled calmly. Now that you're here, don't leave. You are right in saying that there are too many pirates on the island, so it is best for you to die here. Flash ray. As soon as he finished speaking, a golden light shot out, instantly piercing Wade's eyebrows. The laser penetrated the wall of the tavern, flew into the distance, and exploded to form a huge fireball. You. Wade's hand was still on the handle of the knife, obviously wanting to make a move. But unfortunately, his speed is too slow. Before he could react, he was already dead. With a pop, Wade's body fell to the ground limply. Ding. The host killed the pirate Wade Kelly and obtained 12,000 killing points. The system beeped, and the total number of Lucifer's killing points reached 92,000. The tavern fell into a dead silence, and the surrounding pirates were dumbfounded. When they looked at Lucifer, there was deep fear in their eyes. This man is so scary, moody, and has no warning signs before killing someone. After all, Wade was a pirate with a bounty of over 100 million, but he couldn't even draw his sword in front of Lucifer and was instantly killed. Captain, the captain is dead. No, how could the captain die? Monster, this man is a monster. Run away quickly, or you will be killed. After the 20-odd pirates of the Hacksaw Pirates came to their senses, they immediately fled in panic. Several pirates' legs became weak, and they fell to the ground as soon as they opened their legs and could no longer stand up. Spare your life? Please. Several pirates were so frightened that they peed their pants, and their speech was slurred and incoherent. The next second, several flying swords shot out of the air and penetrated their chests. Blood splattered and screams continued. In the blink of an eye, more than 20 pirates were all dead. Ding. The host killed the pirate soldiers and obtained 1,700 killing points. Ding. The host killed the pirate soldiers and obtained 1,300 killing points. Among the 20-odd pirates, only 2 pirates have some strength, providing Lucifer with 3,000 killing points. The rest of the pirates are all trash fish, worthless parallel imports. Attribute panel. Host, Lucifer. Age, 23. Devil fruit. Word spirit fruit. Physique, hell demon. Armed color hockey, advanced. Wisdom color hockey, advanced. Overlord color hockey, advanced. Killing points, 95,000. This time, Lucifer's total number of killing points reached 95,000. Just missing the last one for 5,000, Lucifer can purchase the Overlord colored domineering winding technique. There's only 5,000 left, so there's no need to wait any longer. Lucifer focused his attention on the many pirates in the tavern. It was the look of a ferocious beast looking at its prey. The hundreds of pirates in the tavern all saw the killing intent in Lucifer's eyes, and they suddenly screamed in fear. "Run!" I don't know which pirate shouted, and the pirates in the tavern ran towards the door at the same time. Some pirates broke the windows, or even broke the walls to escape. The next second, the devil's whisper sounded in everyone's ears. Blade storm. Countless flying swords and long knives flew through the air, piercing the chests of every pirate wherever they went. On the street outside the tavern, countless pirates fled in all directions, just because there was an extremely sad sound coming from inside the tavern. There were screams and blood was constantly splashed on the windows. The screams only lasted for 2 seconds and quickly disappeared. Then, Lucifer walked out of the tavern with a faint smile. After a wave of killings, Lucifer's killing points have exceeded 100,000, and he can purchase the abilities he wants. Under the dark night, the pirates hiding in the dark felt cold and frightened when they saw the smiling Lucifer. In their eyes, Lucifer is a complete monster. He kills people without any reason at all, and there is no reason. It was not until Lucifer disappeared into the night that many pirates dared to come out. The brave pirates went to the tavern and took a look, and were immediately frightened. The tavern was full of corpses and blood flowed into rivers. Hundreds of pirates were stabbed to death with sharp swords in the chest. Some unlucky pirates had stabs on their bodies. Wearing several long swords, they were almost cut into pieces. Many pirates still had fear on their faces, and their expressions were distorted. One can't help but wonder what they went through before they died. Many pirates pride themselves on killing people like crazy, but when they see this scene, everyone was so frightened that they were all cold and trembling. Compared with Lucifer's methods, they were far behind. Soon, the news of Lucifer's bloodbath of the pirate tavern spread throughout Crescent Island. One sea after another, the pirate captains were all afraid of Lucifer's birth and ordered their men not to provoke Lucifer. Many pirates who wanted to cooperate with Lucifer also gave up the idea. They did not want to be like Wade and be killed if they failed to cooperate. The remnants of the Hacksaw Pirates were immediately divided among several pirate groups after Wade's death and were declared dead. After finding a random hotel and entering the room, Lucifer opened the system store. System, by the Overlord Color Domineering Winding Skills. Ding! The Overlord Color Domineering Winding skill was successfully purchased. 100,000 killing points were deducted, and the remaining killing points were 1,500. A force appeared and flowed through the limbs and bones. Lucifer suddenly had many techniques for using Overlord's Haki in his mind. People with Overlord's Haki use them in different ways. The most common one is kill with eyes. But there are also some differences. For example, Doflamingo has never used glare to kill. These are the most basic skills. As long as the Overlord Color's Domineering reaches the primary level, they can be mastered automatically. The most critical one is the Overlord Color. How to use Haki to wrap around. After learning this technique, Lucifer can use Overlord Haki just like using armed Haki. Wrap around the weapon and cover the body. After mastering this technique, Lucifer can fully display Overlord Haki, the real power. And when the Overlord Color and the Armed Color are combined, the power will be even more terrifying. This is not a simple 1 + 1 = 2, but an exponential jump. Spending 100,000 kill points is indeed worth it. Lucifer raised his hand and clenched his fist, and there was a red power wrapped around the outside of the fist. Although it was not stimulated, the power contained inside was extremely powerful. This is the Overlord Colored Domineering Winding.